Hey, hey, and welcome to another episode of Midnight Quest, where tonight we will be continuing our hero's journey to become worthy opponents of the evil Dread Lord Zargon. Yes, indeed, we will. We are only a few quests away from the end of our first book, The Coming Storm. Now, that book is book 1 out of 14, so we have plenty more quests to play. Literally more than 100 more quests before this campaign is over, so we've got plenty of playing to do. Tonight, we are going to be following a group of heroes into a deep underground maze in search of some potentially interesting treasure, and they're going to find a couple of nasty surprises along the way. As always, if you are hanging out in the chat tonight, don't be afraid to throw something in that chat so that I know you're there. I see Justin Pollitt is here first, which is totally unsurprising. We have been having some pretty nice conversations going on the last few quests, and I am looking forward to getting in that again. Don't be afraid to get involved in that. If you have any suggestions about what's going on in the stream, or questions about lore, or questions about game mechanics, or just feel like chatting, throw something down there in the chat, and we will immediately stop everything we're doing and discuss until we have solved all the world's problems. Because that's the kind of people we are here at Midnight Quest. That's for sure. Don't forget that you can catch all previous episodes of Midnight Quest over on the Midnight Quest YouTube channel. That is including the actual quests and the painting streams. And of course, you can do all of the content creatory things over there, like subscribing and liking and following here on Twitch. We've been slowly but surely gaining both subscribers on YouTube and followers on Twitch. And I am hugely appreciative of all of you for that. Thank you guys, sincerely. And we hope to continue growing. Oh, Justin says, I'm going to give the 1991 MS-DOS Hero Quest PC game a try. Nice, yes. Oh, that should be interesting. Definitely let me know how that goes. That'll be fun. Oh, yes. Okay, we are getting through these, too. We are flying through this first book, and that is unsurprisingly because we are down here just about every night of the week doing this. So, just as a quick reminder, in case this is your first time ever watching or your second or third time ever watching, we stream quests on Friday nights, Saturday nights, Monday nights, and Tuesday nights. And then there are painting streams on Sunday nights and Wednesday nights. So that leaves you only Thursday nights to do all of your household chores like washing the dishes or cutting your toenails. The rest of the time, we are playing Hero Quest. So, let's get this quest set up so that we can get playing. Let me get my music started. There we go. And we're going to switch over to the board cam so that we can pick our heroes. Now, normal viewers know this already, but in case this is your first time, we currently have a group of 10 heroes, but only 4 of those can go on the quest. So, I gotta get my chat back up here. Bohemius is here, hey, hey! How's it going? Getting that Yeti in there. Oh, and Justin says the MS-DOS says Morcar instead of Zargon. That's super interesting. I've seen screenshots from that game, but I've never played it. So we are going to use these Beatles cards, and it turns out we do have 4 heroes left in the pile tonight. These cards line up with a character randomizer sheet that's hanging up on the wall behind me, so that we randomize which 4 heroes out of our 10 go on the quest. And we try to keep them going on generally the same number of quests so that nobody's too much more experienced than anybody else. But doesn't need to be perfect. Let's see who's going on tonight's quest. Our first card, excuse me, is the 5 of Hearts, and that is the Barbarian. That is Thraken the Barbarian. Where is he at? Here he is. He is, of course, primed and dry brushed. So he is going to be our lead hero on tonight's quest. The next one, the Jack of Diamonds, is Gramina. Wow, I feel like we just had her not too long ago. Was she on last night's quest? I think she was, yeah. Gramina the Dwarven Explorer. Here she is. So she must be kind of down on her quest numbers for her card to pop up again already. Let's see. Oh, I'm looking at the sheet. I don't even have the card out yet. The Ace of Diamonds is Treyas the Wizard. Always enjoy seeing Treyas. Here he is. This, by the way, especially for Justin Pollitt, this is one of the First Light heroes here. So this particular wizard mini is from the First Light set. There he is. And finally, the 6 of Diamonds, which is The Druid, Moonstone the Druid. Awesome. So here she is, also primed and dry brushed, ready for some painting here fairly soon. And with her, of course, comes her Shapeshift Mini, which she is able to cast a spell and turn into that, which gives her some boosts. So we'll get that ready over there. Bohemia says that's his favorite wizard sculpt. I have to agree. Honestly, I really like that Mini. That is definitely neat. I especially like whoever had the idea to put the little flame in his hand. Genius. That we actually see him using some of that magic. Absolutely fantastic. So this goes from the maze to Court of the Witch Lord. So it goes quite a while then. Yeah. So the maze was also an EU only quest that was meant to go before the trial. Court of the Witch Lord is the final quest in the second expansion, I think. So it might go through Coming Storm and Keller's Keep and Return of the Witch Lord, which is neat. If I'm right about that, I don't think the last quest in the Coming Storm is called Court of the Witch Lord. No, I think it's called Return to Barrack Tor. So yeah, that ought to be interesting. That means there is a lot in that game. Okay, let me get some character cards so that I don't forget about those like I have the last couple of quests. This is just going to help me keep track of the turn order, which we are going to do in the order that we drew them. I need to make sure that I don't pass by anybody. Oh, there's Thraken. Let's see here. I feel like I've maybe passed people already. There's Treyas, and there's Moonstone. Okay. And we're going to need to draw some spells later, so I'll go ahead and move those out of the way just for now. Let's go ahead and get their character sheets. Gohan says roll for initiative. Yes, that's right. As always. We do just a tiny bit less rolling than traditional D&D, I think. But probably not by much. So we got Treyas, we got Moonstone. Boy, all these character sheets are right at the top. There's Thraken. Yeah, and there's Gramina. It's literally the top 4 sheets. Weird. That must be, I did go through earlier and just see how many quests everybody had been on, so that's probably how that got shuffled up like that. Okie dokie, so let's see what we need here. So before we go on the quest, we need to visit the armory. Gohan says roll anyway. Yes, that's right. When in doubt, roll it out. We need a t-shirt with that on it right there. Yes, okay, so we've got 765 gold coins that we can theoretically spend at the armory, but these particular heroes are honestly doing pretty good. So getting Gramina some chainmail might not be a bad idea. Same thing with Moonstone. So either Gramina or Moonstone could use a little bit extra defense, but everything else, right, at least right at the moment, is looking pretty solid. We've got Gramina to disarm traps. And Treyas has a toolkit too. So both of them, we've got 2 heroes going in here who can disarm traps. Yeah, now we don't have gold. We don't have enough gold to get both of them chainmail. So really, we need to get one of them. I'll leave that up to you guys. Gramina, our Dwarven Explorer, or Moonstone, our Druid. One of them can get chainmail. Who's it gonna be? You guys vote in the chat. Let me know what you think. I got another really important vote for you guys too, which we'll talk about in a second. For now, I'm gonna go ahead and subtract the 500 gold coins that chainmail costs. Puts us down to 265. And then, we'll see. Oh, okay, so Justin votes for Gramina. Oh, and so does Gohan. I almost missed that. Gramina she was, I wouldn't say the hero of the last quest, but she is always a source of fun stuff. So yeah, protecting her is probably a high priority there. And honestly, it makes more sense for a dwarf to have chainmail than a druid too. Okay, we'll go with that. We'll see if Bohemius has anything to add on that too. And of course, if anybody else is in here watching that hasn't chatted yet, throw something in there. Don't be afraid to vote. Jump in there. We are, so far as I'm aware, a friendly bunch. Okay, so that's all of our gold for now. We've got 265 left, but we'll save that away. We got plenty of stuff. Oh good, I need to make sure I'm taking a look at our skill set stuff. So I also need to remember that Gramina actually did unlock the dwarf disarm. So she's gonna be much better at disarming traps. Oh, Gohan says, I only bite if you ask nice. It just says, so it has me playing with just the Barbarian, and his name is Sigmar. Interesting, so only one hero, and they didn't let you name it. Yes, Bohemius, I did change that. Yes, thank you for pointing that out, though. I did change that. I wanted more heroes to have a little bit more access to different stuff. And I removed the bracers. The bracers weren't in the original Hero Quest anyway, and it unbalanced the whole thing. You know, when I'm looking at, with all this junk that I've added, have I unbalanced the heroes to the point that there's one who's just clearly the best? And I tried to make sure that they have kind of their own strengths and weaknesses, and the bracers just destroyed it. So I just got rid of the bracers, but I also opened up the helmet and the chainmail to the druid and a couple of the other classes. I don't think they can get anything else other than that, though. So, you know, they're not going to be walking around with plate mail or shields or anything, but definitely some light chainmail that they could put underneath their stuff so that they're not going to get mashed quite so easy. Okay, so let's get our items, and it looks like, as far as items, Atreus has a toolkit. There's not a card for that. Moonstone has a single potion of healing, and that's it. We don't have any other like straight up healing stuff going into this quest, so her spells are definitely going to come in handy. Let's take a look at skills. Thraken doesn't have any special skills since he's a barbarian. Gramina, however, is going to have the same explorer skills that she had in the last quest. In fact, we might as well just give her the exact same cards. Now, as I explained last time, for anybody who doesn't know, the explorer skills do have something a little bit different than most of the other classes. They are static. This isn't stuff that she has to use specifically to benefit. All three of these things are things she benefits from permanently. She gets a little bit of extra gold if she finds gold when she searches for treasure. She gets to discard a trap card when she searches for treasure, once per search. And also, if she is standing directly adjacent to a trap at any point, I have to tell her that once per turn. And those are just static skills that are in play all the time for her. Atreus needs spells, and so does Moonstone. Now, Moonstone has leveled up her spell game just a little bit. She gets to take 4 spells into the quest today. 3 of those are required to be her druid spells, and those are the same ones that she always gets: Pixie, Life Force, and Shapeshift. 2 of those are healing spells, and the other one will allow her to transform up into that big bear thing we were talking about. We'll cover those in a little bit more detail if/when she uses them. And then she's going to get 1 just at random regular Hero Quest spell as well. Atreus is going to get 8 spells, 7 of which will be random, and 1 he gets to pick by name. So let's go ahead and do the spell thing. That's not the spell pile, that's the artifact pile. Here we go. Okay, so here we have the 12 original Hero Quest spells, only we have 6 copies of all of them in one big pile, which we are going to kind of shuffle here down into 4 smaller piles. This will help us randomize which spells the heroes get. This is not how normal Hero Quest rules work, but this is something that I changed just to kind of shake things up. It means that the wizards might get a lot of really useful stuff, might get a lot of really garbage stuff, and it has a pretty big effect on how the game is played. Now these are, I don't know if I've talked about this on stream, speaking of things that I've changed, these are considered tier 1 spells. These are basic spells. So as the magic using classes build the magic skill set, they will open up tier 2 spells, tier 3 spells, and tier 4 or master spells, which are all just bigger, more powerful spells. Very handy stuff in those. That, of course, the more skill set points we have, the harder the monsters become. So it's never too much. Bohemia says, when you got time, explain your armor system, please. I want to know the reason that cut out the bracers. Yes, absolutely. And I'll have to review that, to be honest. I have. Let's see if I can find this. Is it on the bottom of my armory stuff? No. There's that paper. So I've got here a page of a list of character classes. I'm showing this to a camera that is very small. So this is all the character classes, and I've essentially assigned a number to each of these: attack, defense, and magic. And so I'm making sure that there are characters that are kind of balanced across all of them. So for example, the elf is meant to be balanced. The barbarian is meant to be attack focused. So he's got lower scores in defense and magic, so on and so forth. We could go through the whole thing, but we want to make sure that there's no hero class that has the exact same numbers as any other hero class. And I used this as a basis for that skill set, all the skill set building, what they can and can't do, and maybe more importantly, the base attack and base defense. So what they roll when you don't have weapons or armor, making sure that those stay in check, and then how do getting the best weapons or armor affect those numbers, so that even if they've got the highest stats and the best weapons and armor, we still have these kind of general numbers respected, if that makes sense. So that even if the dwarf's got the best possible weapon he can have, he's still not going to have better attack than a barbarian would, if that makes sense. And really what it is the bracers kind of added another armor class. So I've also separated all the armor into either something you'd put on your head, something you'd hold on your one hand like a shield, or something you'd put on your chest. And I suppose you could say the bracers could go on the old hand in place of a shield, but it really helped me to lock the shield to certain classes, and also make it so that you can't use a shield if you've got a two-handed weapon. So we're locking that. You got to pick which one you'd rather have. You know, balanced defense and attack, or a higher attack but a little bit less defense. And the bracers, again, they totally destroyed that. So of course you could have bracers while you're also holding a battle axe. So yeah, I'm hoping that made that make at least a little bit more sense. If I thought about that a little harder, I feel like I could explain it more clearly. Justin says you have to make each character and set them in as play. Oh, okay. I see. Yeah. Again, I'm now overthinking whether or not I've explained that properly, but hopefully that cleared at least a little bit of it up. If you think of any more specific questions, by all means ask. And I'll try and remember by the time we have the next quest stream. I want to think about that a little harder and make sure that I'm explaining that in a way that makes sense. In the meantime, let's go ahead and get our spells taken care of. So since we rolled Atreus first, we'll go ahead and get his 8 spells before we get that one that Moonstone gets. Now, because we're going into this with not very much healing, I do think that the one spell Atreus gets to pick by name ought to be a healing spell. Just so that if he doesn't happen to draw any by random. And in fact, we'll just take this Water of Healing that was right at the bottom of pile number 1. And that'll be the first of his 8 spells. The rest of these are going to be random, though. We are going to use a regular deck of cards to determine those randoms. So the suit is going to tell us which pile, and the number is going to tell us which card. So this is pile number 4, card number 1, which is just the very top of this. Oh, and that's Heal Body. Well, there you go. So we're going to be good on healing, for sure. His next spell is pile number 3, card number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Veil of Mist. This is kind of a wasted spell slot. I surely don't find myself using this spell very much. It allows him to move through monsters on his turn. Next is going to be pile number 1, card number 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Rock Skin gives him a temporary boost in defense. Justin says this is kind of cool, but I think I prefer the other game I was playing. Yeah. Probably fairly basic, that game, I imagine. Our next card is pile 3, number 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Sleep allows him to put a monster to sleep so it can't move, attack, or defend, but it can break the spell depending on how smart it is. The next spell, pile number 4, card 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 is Tempest. Allows him to make a monster miss its next turn. Couple more to go here. The next one is pile 1, card 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 is Fire of Wrath, which is kind of a low-level offensive spell. And then one more spell for him. Pile number 1, card number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 is another Water of Healing. So we'll definitely be good on healing. Okay, let me order these up and put them on his sheet here. I'm going to put Veil of Mist at the back since I'm probably not going to use it. Likely anyway. And then the rest of them kind of don't matter. We're fairly equally likely to use any of the rest of these. Put Rock Skin on top because that's a good one to just cast almost right away most cases. Bohemian says, okay, is general consensus in the community that bracers don't stack with other armors, or you use bracers equivalent to leather armor, or you use chainmail metal armor, but you add a slot system so bracers occupy arm space, you prioritize magical bracers. Got it. Yes, yeah, I see exactly what you're saying. And that would make more sense. Yeah, so if bracers were classified as the same thing as chainmail, then yeah, that would totally fix the problem. As far as just from a logistical standpoint. Of course, if we're picturing this as quote unquote real world, you could wear both bracers and chainmail. But yeah, I see 100% what you're saying. If it were one or the other, then that would totally make sense. Maybe I ought to introduce some sort of like leather armor that goes over the chest that is only for classes like the wizard and the druid and the classes you wouldn't expect to see wearing metal armor. It would just add another slot to the armory, but it would make more quote unquote real world sense for sure. Okay, and then one more spell we got to pick. We need to get the one normal spell, if you will, for the druid that she gets, and this is a random spell. It's going to be pile number 2, card number 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 is Swift Wind. So this is another one I don't find myself using too often, but this will allow her to move a little faster for a few turns. Now, I think in regular Hero Quest, that's move faster once, but I ended up making it for the next 3 movements, just because I knew I hardly ever used the spell, so I thought maybe if I boost its usefulness a little bit, I'll find more reason to use it. That's going to do it for our spells. And I think that also does it for our setup. Yeah, as long as I'm not forgetting anything, and I don't think I am. Okay, before we get started, I want you guys to vote for one more thing. As I mentioned in last night's stream, as long as things go well, we are going to end the quest tonight with another hero in the ranks. So this is a small thing that I added into this quest where they find another hero, and kind of similar to the Sir Ragnar situation, if that hero makes it out alive, it joins the ranks. However, I do not do very good coming up with names. So I've prepared 3 names that I like okay, and I'd like for you guys to vote on those, or if somebody comes up with a serious name that is better than all 3 of those, we will name this character whatever you guys pick. Let me go ahead and I'll copy paste this into the chat so you guys can see. These are the 3 names that Savannah and I came up with before the stream started. It'd be totally okay. Oh no, Gohan says Bodie McBoatface. Fancy. Now this character is going to be an older wizard character. So we were trying to keep that in mind when it came to this. See, this is exactly why we came up with names, because I knew if you guys were left to your own devices, it'd be named some ridiculous thing like Bodie McBoatface. So go ahead and take a look at those 3. They didn't separate in the chat the way I had them separated. So it's a first name, last name. So Morkai Oran would be one. Dyrostis Jastora is another, and Cadnos Neldris is another. So any of those, you guys throw that in the chat which one you like, or if any of you can come up with with a better one that's not Bodie McBoatface or anything too swear-filled, we will name the character that. And we got time. They won't find that hero until later in the quest, so we've got time. All right, I'm going to go ahead and spread out my hero cards here so I can remember the stuff. I've got Bodie McBoatface stuck in my head now. Okay, let's do some quest text here. Oh, I see. That's right. I've got stuff in the chat there, so I need to reselect this thing over here. And here we go. This is Quest 9, Left in the Darkness. By the way, I changed the name of the quest. A guide has led you into an underground maze that is rumored to hold a great secret. He has led you down many dark corridors, and finally you find yourself in a room with 3 doors. Suddenly, the guide puts out his torch, and in the darkness you hear him laugh. "Farewell, my heroes," he sneers as he makes his escape. You realize to your horror that it is a trap. You must make it back to the stairway or perish in this dark, forgotten hole. Oh no. Secret boss. Jack Marius. Oh my gosh, what is that last name? I need to get some glasses, I think, because I can't see nothing. Yes. I was just saying to Savannah before I started too that I feel like I spend too much time with my face like an inch away from the quest map because I'm trying to figure out what's something that it says. I've gone my whole life without needing glasses, and I think that era is coming to an end. I'm the only one in my immediate family that does not have glasses. Hey, we got our spam chat. All right, we're getting the spam chat out early tonight. Woo! Hingle McCringleberry. Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, so we are starting in a weird place tonight. In fact, we're already on camera where we are starting. This tiny little room right here is where our heroes were left by that guide. And as the quest text mentioned, there are 3 doors in this room. There's one here. There is one here. And there is one here. There we go. And our heroes are scattered around the room. We'll just go ahead and put them in there kind of random-like as such, or maybe even we'll put Draken in the corner there. And we are starting the quest right there like that. So the heroes have no idea where they are or how to get out. Don't forget we've got a little gold highlights on the doors now, so if you're wondering about finding the doors, since we're on a top-down view, look for that little streak of gold. Oh, I have opened a whole can of worms, haven't I? Oh, go ahead, that is amazing. You shall not pass. Just to call it Xmas Jason Flaxen Waxen. Oh gosh, this is gonna be the rest of the stream, isn't it? I mean, I'm totally cool with that because this is hilarious. Oh man. Okay, let's get a little closer to the action here so that we can get started. Now, as per usual, we can get all of the normal searching done in this room before we start going and opening doors and seeing what's behind them. You shall not pass. That's that is fantastic. As far as joke names go, I'd consider that one. Okie dokie, Thraken. Thraken, our barbarian, is the first person in this quest. This room has not been searched for anything as of yet. Let's go ahead and see what he's going to do. Traps, secret doors, treasure, or leave. And he is going for secret doors in this room. Boy, that's a lucky first search. I guess, now, interestingly, again, I've said this a couple of times, it's weird how the heroes end up developing personalities considering that we are randomizing everything that we do. And it seems like for the entire duration of the Midnight Quest since we've started streaming, the heroes seem extra obsessed with searching for secret doors. They really often do secret door searches instead of trap searches, which is odd because I've played like this with the card randomizer for a long time, and that has not been the case any other time that I've played through this stuff. Most of the time they find nothing. However, in this case, they do indeed find themselves a 4th door, as if they needed more ways to go. Javaris, Jamar, Javaris, and Lamar. Gohan says it's going to pay off one of these days. Yes, you're absolutely right. And it did. It did today. They found a secret door. Okay, that was action number 1. Thraken, what's action number 2? Traps, treasure, or leave? He's doing traps as well. There are no traps in that room, surprisingly. That concludes his turn. Gramina, then, is left with 2 options, treasure or leave. She's going to leave.
Of course she is.
Yeah. Don't search for treasure. We don't need any of that. Now, she got a really garbage roll there. So I'd say that really gives her either this door or this door. Normally, I'd give her the choice of all 4, but she's only going to reach one of those. So let's see what she's doing. She is going to go to the one that is quite literally right next to her. So 1. And we're going to open up into this. Gohan says, now only if they go through it. That's true. This is true. So she's opened the door into this green room, and in this green room, there is nothing other than 3 monsters. 2 swamp goblins. Huh?
Other than 3 monsters.
Yes, nothing other than 3 monsters. So we got a swamp goblin here, a swamp goblin here, and a wasteland orc hanging out back here. There we go. So that is the room Gramina has just opened up. Is she going to stop and search for traps? Yes, she is. At least she's got that part of it right. There are no traps in that green room. Atreus, our wizard, standing right behind Gramina right here, he has the same options, treasure or leave. And he's also leaving. All right, let's see if he gets a better dice roll. Definitely, he could easily make it to any of these doors. So we'll go ahead and use the 4 suits for this, because he could theoretically help Gramina. So we'll say hearts, diamonds is help Gramina, clubs is down here, spades is here. And we drew a spades, so he is also going to go for one of the doors that he is closest to. And over here in our kind of maroon room, we have, again, nothing but 3 monsters. This time we have a wasteland goblin and also another swamp goblin. Let me grab that guy. Here's a wasteland goblin. Grab another swamp goblin out of that same drawer that we had already opened. Got the swamp goblin in the corner, the wasteland goblin here, and another wasteland orc as well. So again, we'll just take it out of the same drawer we've already got open. Another wasteland orc hanging out right here. Atreus, is he going to stop and search for traps? No, he is not. What are his options? He's got long range, but it doesn't really matter whether he doesn't have higher attack one way or the other. So let's go ahead and card this. Is he going to walk in there and attack long range or close range, or is he going to fire with his wand? He's going to fire with his wand. I'd say he could hit any of these 3 guys. Which guy is it going to be? It is going to be the swamp goblin. Honestly, that's probably the smartest option. It's not only the one that attacks the hardest, but the one he's most likely to kill with a single hit. Atreus fires a blast of energy from his wand, hitting the goblin with a 2, which is a critical hit and a skilled strike, knocking that guy straight out of there. Poor swamp goblin. He's just hanging out in there wearing his Link hat. Bohemia says, maybe they become self-aware and they are trying to find the secret door that led them out of the game into the real world. Are you sure it's still a game? Oh no. Oh gosh. We've got existentialism. Yeah, 100%. Justin says, my vote was for Mordecai, but I had to throw out some joke names from Key and Peele. Yeah, yes. And absolutely fantastic. Yeah. Savannah says AA Ron the Wizard. Yeah, totally. Oh, I gotta tell you, as a side note, that I want to try not to get too distracted because I got a bad habit of that. I had a real world experience that made me think that here recently. I've been having issues with the car that I have. We've had nothing but issues with it since I got it. But recently, it has been going through a thing where occasionally it just won't start and then we have to charge the battery. The battery just totally dies. Not sure what it is, some sort of weird electrical thing. But most recently, when this happened, it did the normal thing it does. I turn the key, it starts to turn over, it clicks real loud, but this time it did something new. started to turn over, clicked real loud, and then my speakers in the doors went, "Danner," just like that. And I thought, there's no way that just happened. I've imagined that, surely. Now, I wish I had filmed it, because this sounds unbelievable, but I did it a second time to make sure I hadn't imagined it, and it did it again. Started to turn over, click, "Danner," came out of my speakers. And that genuinely has me worried that I'm living in the Truman Show and that nothing is real. Because that felt like a sitcom moment, and that I heard a little bit of the music, and there's a laugh track somewhere that I just didn't happen to hear. That was wild. Okay, that took care of Treyas. We are now at Moonstone down here in the corner. Now that I've revealed that I'm paranoid, we can talk about Moonstone. She's got 3 options for this room: search for treasure, cast shapeshift, or leave. And she is going to cast shapeshift as her first action. I imagine most of you know what this spell does by now. Shapeshift grants you 1 extra defense dice and 1 extra attack dice, close range only. The spell is broken as soon as you suffer 1 body point of damage. However, you can regain the spell when your body points are returned to their maximum number. So we're going to swap out her mini for the bear looking thing. For her second action, treasure or leave. She's going to do treasure. I swear, if this is a trap that immediately makes her lose that shapeshift. Oh. Let's see what she finds. Moonstone finds a wandering monster, because of course she does. The wandering monster in this quest is actually the same as last night's quest. It is a wasteland femur. So we have, popping out of the woodwork, this old guy right here. We're just going to stick him right there next to the door. He doesn't fit on that square very well, but that is where he is. He immediately swings his axe at Moonstone, hitting her with a 1. Now, as I just mentioned, she benefits an extra defense dice while she's in her shapeshift. So she's also rolling 3 for defense. She does indeed block that attack. Justin says, I've started replacing all of my furniture with HeroQuest furniture, including my doors. Oh no, Mormons! That might be my favorite joke from that video. Yes. Oh, gotta love the references to the Why HeroQuest is So Great video by Bardic Broadcasts. Maybe one of my favorite videos on the entire internet, honestly. I think Savannah and I were talking about that earlier. Same thing. I mean, just fantastic. I suppose you have to know what HeroQuest is to find it funny, but still, just perfect. Okay, that takes us to the monster's turn. Now the femur is not going to attack again since it already attacked on this turn cycle, but we have all of these monsters in the green room and both of the monsters here in the maroon room. That's hard to say, maroon room. Which one of these guys? We're already kind of pointed here. Yeah. We're going to get this wasteland goblin moving here. Now wasteland monsters are a little slow, but they have extra defense. Normal attack though, so the wasteland goblin swings its axe at Treyas, but misses. Whoops. Over here in Gramina's room, let's see if Gramina is having some better luck tonight than normal. We've got 3 possible monsters, and we are going to send this guy here, a swamp goblin. Swamp monsters have a little bit less defense, but higher attack. The swamp goblin swings its sword at Gramina and hits her with the critical hit of 3. Let's see, she's got 3 defense dice thanks to that chainmail we just got her. Let's see what she defends. She defends 1. Okay, that's better. I expected none. She takes 2 hits, bringing her down to 8 body points. Oh, and Justin's doing Mellar's Maze. Awesome. Back to the other game, I assume. Again, that quest sets up like a whole book later on. I have to assume, because it was, again, this is Stephen Baker, the guy who made HeroQuest in the first place, got to write one of the brand new quest books, and he tied it back not only to Telor the Wizard, who is briefly mentioned in the introduction text, but also the Talisman of Lore becomes a whole plot point. Really neat. Okay, monster's turn is over. We are back to Thraken the Barbarian right there. Now there's no more searching to be done in this room, so he either needs to help out somebody fight monsters or open one of those other 2 doors. Now he can't get to this door because the femur's in the way, and let's be honest, I don't know how many players would open that door. when there's so many other monsters to be fought, but we probably should include it as an option. Maybe the theoretical player playing as Thraken tonight is feeling particularly feisty. So let's double weight him not opening that door, but we'll still include it as an option. So low card, yeah, low card or medium card, he will help somebody fight one of the other monsters. High card, he's opening that other door. Okay, it's a low card. I think what makes the most sense is that he's going to go after this Femur right here, because he does have a bow, but I think similar to what we were talking about with Sir Ragnar last night, I feel like a Barbarian's more likely to just wade into close range battle. Let's see if he can get over that Femur. Yeah, plenty of movement. 1, 2, 3. And let's get him swinging at that guy. Thraken swings his broadsword, hitting the Femur with a 1. The Femur does not block, doesn't kill it, but it takes some damage. Bohemia says, I do at least a couple of treasure searches before transforming with the Druid. Yes, it helps lose 1 to 2 hit points before transforming to manage better the healing spells. Totally agreed. Totally agreed. Yes, because it really only makes sense for her to cast either Pixie or Life Force on herself if she's down that exact number of body points. Particularly Pixie, which has a really, it's easy for her to accidentally fly past being down 2 hits. But yeah, no, I agree. It's a little different for the Warlock's demon form though, because it's so easy for the Warlock to get that spell back. All she's got to do is successfully kill any monster and she gets it back. So the Druid shapeshift is a little harder to get back. Alright, Gromina, she is already locked in combat over here with this Swamp Goblin. Let's see what she can do. Gromina swings her broadsword and misses because it's Gromina, and that seems to be how it goes. Now, she can use her other action though to search this green room for secret doors. However, she will find nothing. Oh, great. So Treyas now, Treyas' turn. He is also in combat here with this Wasteland Goblin. Treyas swings his wooden staff, hitting the Goblin with a 1. Now again, this is a Wasteland Goblin, so higher defense. The Goblin does defend the attack. Boy, this isn't going super well for them right at the moment. Is this a good, I mean, he did get that Fire of Wrath spell, which would be a good way to take this out, although that's probably still kind of overkill on a Goblin. Yeah, I'd say probably so. Let's get him searching this room for something. He can do either traps or secret doors in that maroon room. Why am I having so much trouble saying that? He's going to search secret doors in there and find nothing. Merlin! Merlin's here. He says Swamp Goblin. Yes, good old Swamp Goblin. Merlin, I don't know if you were in here at the beginning, but we do have an ongoing vote. If you want to put your 2 cents in, I can actually drop this in the chat again. There is going to be a new wizard hero, almost definitely, and we're voting on what the name of the hero is going to be. Let me, I'm going to try and put some more spaces between these names in the hopes that this will space it out in the chat. So I got 3 names prepared. Nope, it totally just it got rid of my spaces. So that's first name, last name. So Morkai Oron, Dyrostis, Gestora, and Cadnos Neldris. Those are our 3 potential names. Throw in your vote on which one you like best. I think Justin said he liked Morkai, but definitely want to hear from Merlin and Bohemius and Gohan, if Gohan's still in here, which name do you guys like? Or if you come up with a totally better one and those are all garbage, we'll do that. Okay, where are we at here? That was... Yes, Treyas. Lost his name there. So that brings us to Moonstone, who is trying to get rid of this Femur. Now again, she does get an extra attack dice for being in shapeshift as long as she's close range, which she is. She swings her claws at the Femur. Excuse me, hitting it with a 1. The Femur does not block. Got him out of there, since he was damaged already. Oh yeah, I do need to re-click my software over here. Okay. She has another action, and movement is really the only thing that makes sense. So I guess our question is, does she feel like these other heroes have this properly handled that she could go open either one of these doors? I'd say probably so. Nobody's in dire trouble right at the moment. So let's see what she rolls if she's moving. She does not get much. However, that does get her just enough to get to either door. So which door is she going to open? She's going to go for the top one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, opening up the top. We find in the blue and black room nothing except 3 more monsters. In this room there are 2 mountain orcs, as well as 1 deep orc. We got mountain orc, and deep orc. Good, this guy's gonna be a Milton Bradley guy just so we can kind of keep track of the fact that he's a different thing. There we go. Deep monsters are slow, but they have higher attack. That's a new one there for you, Merlin. I don't think you encountered any deep monsters in our playthrough. Now, she can't do anything else. She's already used her other action, but they now know that there seems to be only one further way to go, unless there's a secret door up here in this blue room. This brings us to the monster's turn, which means we've got a whole bunch of stuff we need to do. Let's go ahead and take care of this first since we're pointed at it. Which one of these monsters is going to come up? This is the middle one, so it's the deep monster, yeah. Deep orc, not the guy you want attacking you, that's for sure. The deep orc swings its sword at Moonstone, hitting her with a 1, that's lucky. She attempts to defend, but doesn't. Ouch. That drops her to 9 body points, also negates her shapeshift spell, at least for the time being. As long as she's careful, she's got plenty of healing to get that back. Okay, over here with Treyas, we have the Wasteland Goblin that is attacking him. The Wasteland Goblin swings its axe, hitting Treyas with a 1. I believe he's only got 2 defense, right? Oh no, he's got the Wizard's Cloak. So he does block the attack. Excellent. And then back over here, we have a Swamp Goblin attacking Gramina. The Goblin hits her with a 1. And I think she also rolls 3 now, correct? Yes, she does. Which she does not defend. Dropping her to 7 body points. But chainmail's not helping her even a little. Bohemius also says, I like Morkai. Awesome, that is 2 votes for Morkai. That's kind of the one I was leaning towards too, if I'm being totally honest. But if we get votes for something else, we'll do something else. Okay, that does conclude the monster's turn right at the moment, so let's get back to Thraken. Now, Thraken has a couple options. Obviously, he could just open this door and leave. He probably ought to help somebody. There are a lot of monsters on the board right now, and he has long range to do something with. So let's pretty much just card him which hero is he going to help. So we'll go low card, medium card, high card. And we got medium card, so he's going to turn around and shoot at that deep orc. In fact, he is well within range without even needing to move. So Thraken loads an arrow into his short bow and fires, probably not the right terminology, hitting that deep orc with a 2. The deep orc does not defend. It is dead. There we go. I think that deep orc was one of my original Milton Bradley guys too. He had a Sharpie number on the bottom, which is usually indicative that I had that guy when I was real young. Now he does have another action left, but I don't know that there's much benefit. You know what? He also, Thraken has Borin's armor, which means his defense is really good. It actually would benefit the party for him to kind of act as a human shield. He's going to take hits better than Moonstone. Let's get him kind of in the way there, if you will. Okay, Gramina then, down here. She needs to get rid of the Swamp Goblin and see if she can do better than she did on her last turn. Gramina swings her broadsword, hitting the Goblin with a 2. That is definitely a skilled strike. That's the way to go, Gramina. Knock those guys down. Yeah, she knew exactly what she was doing. Okay, now she can't search that room for anything else until those monsters were dead. It doesn't benefit her to walk into that room because she would get hit by both monsters. Let's go ahead and forfeit her second action. Dreas, standing right here. He is in combat with this wasteland goblin. Let's see if he can get rid of it. He swings his wooden staff, hitting the goblin with a 1. The goblin does not defend. Good. We're finally starting to knock these guys out this turn. Is that our only wasteland goblin on the board? Yes, it is. Okay. And tell you what, we're still early in the quest, but I do think that it's not really a bad thing for him to go ahead and use that Fire of Wrath spell. The Fire of Wrath spell isn't necessarily one that you'd need to save for a boss fight. It might be a clutch thing right at the end, but he could use it in this case to just go ahead and potentially get rid of this orc too, instead of getting hit by it. So let's try that. He is going to go ahead and cast his Fire of Wrath spell. Some fire appears at his fingertips. He directs it at the wasteland orc, which is immediately engulfed in flames. The orc tries to fight off the spell and is successful. The spell does nothing. Right? That spell is negated by a 5 or a 6, right? Yes. Unfortunate, but fair. That leaves us then with Moonstone, who is right here. She's not really lost enough body points to justify using that pixie spell just yet. So let's see if she can fire. She might as well fire at one of these 2 orcs here. We're going to get her firing at the orc on the right. This is just a regular mountain orc. She fires a blast of energy from her oak wand, hitting the orc with a 1. The orc defends the attack. The dice are not being very kind to the heroes tonight. She can also do some searching, being that she's looking into the door of the room. Is it going to be traps or secret doors? Traps! There are no traps in that room. Okay, back to the monster's turn. We've definitely got some interesting things going on here. The first thing is going to be these 2 mountain orcs are going to surround Thraken. Orc number 1 swings its axe at the barbarian. Ouch, hitting him with a critical hit of 3. Luckily, the barbarian is wearing some pretty hefty armor. Oh, we got a dice that didn't quite roll right. He manages to ward off 2 of the hits, only taking 1. This drops him to 9 body points. However, this other orc is also gonna attack. This orc swings its mace at the barbarian, hitting him with a 2. The barbarian blocks this attack entirely. Merlin also likes Morkai. Awesome. Okay, so I'd say this guy's going to end up being named Morkai. Unless Gohan has a convincing argument for one of the other ones, or unless any other people jump into the chat with some opinions, we are going to be coming across Morkai Oron at some point in this quest. Okay, moving on to the rest of these monsters. We've got the Wasteland Orc, which is probably not very happy about being set on fire. This orc swings its sword at Dreas, hitting him with a 2. Oops, hold on, the one dice didn't actually go through the tower. Okay, worked out. Dreas was actually able to defend that thanks to his wizard's cloak. And then over here with Gramina, we need to determine which one of those monsters is coming up to hit her. It's going to be the other swamp goblin. This swamp goblin swings its sword, hitting Gramina with a critical hit of 3. She's getting all the critical hits here, which she does not defend a single one of. 1, 2, 3. This drops her to 4 body points. She hasn't even left the first room, and she's lost more than half her points. It's random. You guys are keeping track of this, right? You know I'm not fudging the dice or anything. How is this character just doing this over and over? Okay, we are back to the heroes. So Thraken the Barbarian is up here in the blue and black room. He has 2 potential targets. He is gonna go for this guy right here. Thraken swings his broadsword at the orc, hitting it with a critical hit of 3, which is also a skilled strike, making this guy, as always, super dead. There we go, he goes up there. Thraken can also use his second action to search this room for secret doors, and he will find none, making it definite, sorry, that this is the way out that they were searching for. Okay, Gramina. Now we need to get rid of this goblin. You're taking hits left and right, Gramina. Get rid of this guy. Gramina swings her broadsword at the goblin, hitting it with a 2, which thankfully is indeed a skilled strike on a swamp goblin. This guy also very nicely painted, however, super dead. Okay, now Gramina does have a second action, and I think in this case, she's already done all the searching other than treasure. She might as well just move in there, right? No reason to let that orc walk up to her. She's not going to get surrounded by monsters in that room or anything. We'll go ahead and move her in there. Okay, Treus the Wizard is now fighting this wasteland orc. Treus swings his wooden staff, hitting the orc with a 1. Now this is a wasteland orc, so it does defend a little better than normal, but it does not defend this attack. He hit that thing square between its 2 eyes, and it did not appreciate that very much. We have another wasteland orc hanging out somewhere? Yes, we sure do. It's the one Gramina's at. Okay. Okay, Treus, what are we going to do now? He can use his second action to either search for traps or move into the room for the purpose of searching for treasure on the next turn. He's going to do that one. Not worried about traps, this guy, but since he knows there's no secret doors, there's no point in going any further in than that first square, which luckily is not trapped. Okay, Moonstone. She is up here at the top. Let's see if she can get rid of this other mountain orc. Moonstone fires a blast of energy from her oak wand, hitting the orc with a 1. This is just a regular run-of-the-mill orc here. It does not defend the attack. They cleaned that up pretty well on this turn. It was starting to look a little dangerous there, but they've got it pretty good. Let's see, that was her first action. What else can she do? She might as well leave, honestly. We need to do treasure in all 3 of the rooms that they've opened. But there's nothing else really for her to do since there's heroes in there. So let's just get her moving out the door and see what happens. 1, 2, 3. Move the camera a little bit over here to the hallway. Moonstone opens the door. What she finds out here is a wall. And then, for the moment, the rest of this hallway, we don't see anything else. So from here, actually all the way down to the corner, which is still a little off camera, and then there is also a way to go down here. She's not seeing anything else yet at the moment. Next question, is she going to stop here? She can't actually search for traps. She's not quite in the right square either. But is she going to stop here? Yes, she is. So she's not actually going to go out there yet. Definitely smart. All right, monster's turn. We have one last monster here, this wasteland orc on Gramina, who is probably going to get 3 skulls, which she won't defend. Anybody taking bets? The wasteland orc swings its mace, hitting her with a 2. Okay, I was wrong. Can she defend either of those 2? She defends 1. Okay, okay. This still drops her down to 3 body points, so somebody ought to hand her a potion or use a healing spell on her because she is getting low and we are still right at the beginning of the quest. Having said that, that turn could have gone way worse. Let me grab a drink here real fast. Alright, so back to Thraken up here in the blue and black room. The only thing left to do up there is search for treasure. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's see what he finds. Thraken finds a small wooden box. It is simple looking and very old. Within, he discovers that it is lined with velvet and contains very small jewels worth 50 gold coins. Nice, the classic Hero Quest text there. That puts us up to 315 gold. His second action then can be spent moving. Nothing else to do in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll go ahead and move him out into the hallway. However, is he going to stop here since, this hasn't been searched for traps? Yes, he is. Luckily, that 1 square is not trapped. It could have been, but it isn't. Gramina next. Needs to see if we can get rid of that wasteland orc. And if she's struggling with it, we might send somebody in there to help her. All right, she swings her broadsword, hitting the orc with a 1. Okay, it totally might kill it, but it's got good defense. It blocks the attack. Can she do any other searching? No, she can't. Yeah, I think we probably ought to send somebody in there to help her since she's so low on body points. In fact, should we move her out of the way even? I would guarantee that the orc does not attack her. So with her second action, we may actually just have her back out of the room just a little bit. Okay, Atreus the wizard over here in the maroon room can search this for treasure as well. Let's see what he finds. He found a wandering monster. Well, it's not going to be him helping her out. As I mentioned earlier, the wandering monster in this quest is a wasteland femur, which is going to pop out of a secret hatch in the floor right in front of him and immediately swing its axe. But misses, because Atreus is a very fast guy. All right, that brings us over to Moonstone, who might as well be the one to go over there and see if she can help with that orc. Now, how's she doing on health? She's only lost the 1 body point, so I don't think it's going to be that big a deal for her to just kind of trade places with Grimina. 1, 2, 3. And she swings her wooden staff at the orc, hitting it with a 1. Again, that could get rid of it. And it does. The orc does not defend. Moonstone to the rescue. Okay, monster's turn. The only monster we have on the board is that femur, who is already attacked on this turn cycle. If it is still alive on the next monster's turn, it will get to attack. But right now, nothing. So we are right back to Thraken here in the hallway, and we are going to force a trap search right away because he stopped on the last turn. And there are no traps in this hallway. Now, this is from the square right behind him to the corner that we can't quite get onto camera, the corner that's down here. So this does not count for the double wide hallway other than the very first 2 squares being part of this hallway. No traps in that area. With his second action, are we doing secret doors or moving? He's going to do the secret door search too. Same exact described area, no secret doors. Okay, Grimina can now do some stuff here. She's either going to spend both of her actions to get back into this green room to search for treasure, which she arguably deserves, unless it's a wandering monster, which would be bad news, or she's just going to go ahead and leave. She's going to leave. Yeah, I can't necessarily blame her for that. If that was a wandering monster, it might kill her in 1 shot. So she is heading out the door. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And off she goes. All right, Atreus is now in combat with that femur. Probably not super worth casting a spell, although Rock Skin might benefit him. He has managed to not take any damage yet, so that could go either way. Let's do that. First action, is it going to be attack or cast Rock Skin? He is going to attack. He's saving that Rock Skin at least for now. He swings his wooden staff, hitting the femur with a 1. The femur does not block. It's not dead, but it did take some damage. Nothing really else to do with his second action unless we're going to force that Rock Skin. Let's draw the card again, because again it might occur to a player that, oh, wait a minute, I've got some extra defense potentially. Let's say red, he casts it, black, he's going to keep not casting it. Okay, he got red. So he is going to go ahead and cast his Rock Skin spell on himself. This spell may be cast on any one hero in your line of sight, including yourself. That hero may use 1 extra defense dice when being attacked. The spell is broken when the hero suffers 1 body point of damage. Ooh, go ahead and says Mordecai Cadnos. Yeah, so Mordecai seems to be the... everybody's saying that. I've lost the word that I had in my mind there for a moment. My brain tried to say anonymous, and that's not right, but it's a similar word, right? Okie dokie, that was Atreus' turn, so we're now at Moonstone. Now, she went in there and saved Grimina. She theoretically could save Atreus too, but she does need to search for treasure in there, so let's start with that. Let's see what she finds. A wandering monster. Well, it's a good thing Grimina didn't do that, because that probably would have been bad news. All right, Another Wasteland Femur popping out. They had Wasteland Femurs hidden all around this area for just moments like these. The Femur swings its axe at Moonstone, hitting her with a 2. She defends one and takes the other. That is actually perfect for her. She has one action left, which she either needs to spend attacking that guy or casting her pixie spell so that she'll get her shapeshift back. That's probably the smarter option here, right? She could kill this thing in one shot if she got a critical hit, but what are the odds of that? Doing this now is probably the smarter move. Let's do that. I probably could card it, but strategically I do think this makes just an overwhelming amount of sense. She is going to go ahead and cast her pixie spell, which heals her exactly 2 body points, which puts her back at full health. She's now got 10 body points, which gives her access to her shapeshift spell again. Now it doesn't get cast automatically, but she gets the spell back. So on the next turn, she can turn back into the bear and do more damage. That is going to be it for her. So this Femur cannot attack on this monster's turn, but that one can. So let's start with that. This Femur over here swings its axe at Atreus, hitting him with a 1. Atreus is now benefiting from a rock skin spell, so surely he can defend 1. Yes, indeed he does. Awesome. Brings us back over to Thraken the Barbarian. And I think for now we're not going to worry about having him go back in there to help. You could argue that maybe it's necessary, but we'll go ahead and wait. If they start struggling with those Femurs, maybe we'll send them back to help. He got an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now that he can see into this double wide, let's go ahead and populate that. There are a couple of walls. There is also a door. And there is also a mountain orc. Hanging out right here. Yes, indeed. Okay, now he moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get where he is. So he can definitely go 6. And I don't think that a character would continue moving and ignore that orc, right? If we were talking about that, who's not going to go ahead and take care of this? Now again, he's got a bow, which would be smarter than walking down that hallway when it hasn't been searched for traps. It would also be smarter to shoot at the orc than searching for traps. So let's go ahead and do that. He is going to put an arrow in his short bow and fire off at that orc, hitting it with a 2. The orc does not defend the attack. Getting him right off of there. Kind of proving the point there. All right, Gramina, who is right behind him. Surely, yep, she's still on camera. Get her moving off here too. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that there's no threat, I think we do kind of have a question of whether or not they go there or continue down the hallway. Let's ask. So red is going to be the double wide. Black is going to be continue walking. She got black. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 gets her most of the way down the hallway. Let's go ahead and swap cameras and bring that over here so that we can see what she is doing. So as you can see, she got here. Still no new information for that, but we've got that ready for her on her next turn. Coming back over here, we've got Atreus still trying to get rid of that Femur. That Femur is damaged, so he's got a good chance of getting rid of it. Atreus swings his wooden staff, hitting the Femur with a 1. Whoops, and one of those dice didn't actually go through the tower. The Femur does not defend. Getting rid of it. Excellent. Now that concludes everything that needed to be searched in that room, so Atreus can also head out. Although, you know what, let's go ahead and position him to help with the Femur in here with Moonstone. Theoretically, he won't be needed, but they're going to be on a team. We might as well go ahead and do that. Justin says 4 dice rolls all skulls. Woo. Oh, defense. Yeah, DEF. Yeah, I hate when that happens, man. That's I've definitely had entire sessions like that where every time the heroes try to attack, they roll shields, and every time they try to defend, they roll skulls. But the monsters are getting lucky with every single attack roll. That gets real frustrating. Yeah. Let's see. That was Treyas. So we are now at Moonstone, who might as well start this turn with another shapeshift cast. Turn her back into her bear form so that she can get rid of this guy a little faster. Moonstone swings her claws at the femur, hitting it with a 2. The femur attempts to defend and does indeed defend one of those. So it's damaged. Darn, I was really hoping she was going to knock it out. Hopefully she'll be able to defend whatever it throws at her so that she doesn't just lose that shapeshift immediately again. All right, that does indeed leave us with the monster's turn, and this femur here is the only monster we have on the board, so let's go ahead and take care of that. The femur swings its axe at Moonstone. Oh, he gets a critical hit of 3. Oh, geez. Okay. She's only got 3 defense dice, so if by chance this is all white shields, she's okay. If not, she has lost her shapeshift immediately. Ah, she blocked 2, but not the last one. That was so close, Moonstone. This drops her to 9 body points and unfortunately gets rid of her shapeshift for the second time this quest. She's still plenty capable of getting it back again, but that is still kind of disappointing. I think I'm going to grab another drink here. I finished my last one. We're breaking out the caffeine this time, though. There we go. Okay. Getting back over to Thraken, who is just barely on camera here. Now again, I like to keep the heroes in teams of 2 at least. So even though he's looking down this hallway, I think we'll go ahead and send him down after Gramina. And then when Treyas and Moonstone eventually come down here, we'll send them up there. So let's keep him with Gramina just in case anything bad happens, especially since Gramina's so low on health. Let's keep him moving. In fact, we'll go ahead and switch to the other camera because he's bound to move on to that camera. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Puts him right there. No more searching to be done. Gohan says, what are we drinking? Oh, in this case, just a Mountain Dew. My crutch. My one big crutch when it comes to that sort of stuff. Mountain Dew. And Justin says, got to keep it caffeinated. Yes, absolutely. I drink a unarguably unhealthy amount of Mountain Dew. So if anybody from the Pepsi company is watching this and wants to sponsor Midnight Quest, that would be good, because you're going to see me drinking a whole lot of Mountain Dew. Especially when I got to stay up so late. Let's move on to Gramina as well. She is moving 8, so she's definitely going to get around to that corner. 1, 2, 3, and now she can see down this hallway. Gohan says, I love Baja Blast. Yes, me too. I went through a period fairly recently where that was what I was drinking. Every time I drank Mountain Dew, I would get cans of Baja Blast. And then I started getting really, really bad acid reflux from it. So I've been taking a break unless we have Taco Bell. But I might go back to it because, yeah, it's sounding really, really good. Okay, so Gramina can now see down this hallway, which we can actually see on camera here, corner to corner. There is currently nothing that she can see down this hallway. So let's see, is she going to stop and search for traps? Now she can go ahead and move one more. We know this square here was counted in the last trap search. We know that one's not trapped. She is going to stop here and search. So corner to corner on the board, no traps in this hallway. This quest does not have a whole ton of traps, that's for sure. Gohan says, I ordered Taco Bell last night and ordered the midnight one, but they sent me a dirty regular Baja Blast. Oh man, that is disappointing. I really like that. What is is it just called Midnight Baja Blast or Baja Midnight, right? Well, that's what I ought to be drinking for these. That's so on brand. Yeah, that is. I really like that one too. Our Taco Bell had it, and then for a long, like months, didn't have it. I don't know what happened there, but they've got it again recently. So I've been getting that fairly often recently. All right, that was Gramina. Yes, indeed. So we need to go back to the other camera and focus in down here. Treyas is going to try and help get rid of that femur. He shoots a blast from his oak wand, hitting the femur with a critical hit of 2. It blocks one, but not the other. It was already damaged, so it looks like Treyas saved Moonstone in the same way that Moonstone saved Gramina. Very nice. And that means Treyas can go ahead and set off down the hallway. You know what we did that was kind of dumb unintentionally is the 2 characters with healing spells are now just about as far away from the character who desperately needed one as they could get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe we ought to flip-flop one of them. Maybe we ought to send Treyas down there to trade places with Thraken. I lost his name there. So that we can get Gramina healed up so that we don't lose anybody at least without some unlucky dice rolls. And then finally we have Moonstone up here. That room has already been searched for everything, so let's go ahead and get her moving down there too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and she can't take the 7th move. Gohan says, I think they couldn't keep up with demand when it first launched. I bet you're exactly right, because that makes sense. I got it once when it must have been opening weekend. And then, yeah, for like a month, we just didn't have any. Of course, honestly, I don't eat a ton of Taco Bell anymore because the one thing on the menu that I absolutely loved was the quesarito, and when it disappeared, I was so mad that I just didn't eat Taco Bell for a long time. And I don't remember what, I found a different thing that I liked instead then, and then they got rid of that too. It's been too long now, I can't remember. But whenever they have the nacho fries, I like those. I'll get a lot of those nacho fry things that they get. Let's see, no monsters on the board, so we are back to Thraken the Barbarian, who is on the other camera. However, I do think, he's not quite on the other camera. We are going to go ahead and trade him with Treyas. So we might actually send him back this way to go up that double wide hallway. If I'd have thought of that sooner, I would have just gone ahead and done that when he was already looking down that double wide. 1, 2, 3, 4. Didn't quite get close enough to trap search it. And he's also not quite on either camera. There he is. Oh, good. Gohan says the fries are permanent now. Yes. Good. I really like those fries. I've got a 3-year-old son who is obsessed with fries, but does not like those, and I've never been more disappointed. Didn't like the fancy nacho fries, but he'd live on McDonald's fries if he could. All right, Gramina. She is moving 6, and she is continuing on down this hallway. She knows there are no traps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So she might as well use her other action to search for secret doors. And again, from corner to corner, no secret doors. Did you lose something?
I didn't know.
Oh, gotcha. Savannah is also down here working on some more hero painting stuff while we're playing. If I had another camera, I'd point it at her. Okay, so Gramina, that means we are now at Treyas. We need to switch back to the other camera. There we are. Treyas needs to get down there to her. You know what would be super handy right now to get him there quicker is Swift Wind, except it's Moonstone that has that and not him. Darn. I thought maybe we had a fancy use case there for that. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he is face to face there with Thraken, but not able to help quite yet. However, and this is weird, maybe this is a loophole that we shouldn't do, but he is adjacent to this double wide hallway, which means theoretically he is able to search it. So let's go ahead and let him do either a traps or secret door search. He's doing traps. No traps down that hallway. And then finally we have Moonstone back over here, who is also going to be heading down that double wide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Didn't quite get to the door, but she can use her other action to search for secret doors, and there are none. Okay. Now there are no monsters on the board. You know what? I'm moving this camera and I shouldn't. But we are pretty close to a monster that is up here nearer to Gramina. So let's actually get this guy up here, all the way up here is an ocean orc who theoretically can see down that hallway and is going to be seeing Gramina coming. Ocean orcs, ocean monsters in general actually, have traded some attack for speed. So these guys are best used here in the hallways where they can run down at you and it might even be able to get to her. These guys can move 13 squares. So let's go ahead and get him moving. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Wow. That is what makes ocean monsters scary. Like I said, they've got bad attack, so they're not going to hit very hard, but they can come from a long way away. The ocean orc swings its sword at Gramina, hitting her with a 1, thankfully. Not very hard. She attempts to defend and doesn't. Taking another hit, bringing her down to 2 body points. I may have just accidentally signed her death warrant.
They're trying to kill Gramina.
Yeah, I'm not doing it on purpose, it's the quests.
You have a vendetta.
Yes. Okay, that takes us back to Thraken. Here he is right down here. He is going to be heading down that double wide hallway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And he can open the door over into this yellow room here. In this room, there is another door. And a few monsters. We have a mountain goblin. Hanging out right here. A goblin archer. A boomerang guy right here. And maybe most unfortunately, a dread warrior in the back. Dread warriors are these big armored dudes right here with the maces and the shield.
The goblin not painted?
The goblin archer is not painted, but the mountain goblin is.
Is he a deep goblin?
No. He's just an archer. Yeah.
I got them all except the deep ones.
This is another one of those mythic tier dread warriors that's kind of doing the limbo. So he's pushing on that door. Now Thraken hasn't really done anything else this turn. Let's see, is he going to stop and search for traps or just go in there and start swinging? He is going to search for traps. I kind of wish that he had done the other thing, but I can't complain about any time they've had the forethought to search for traps. There are no traps in that yellow room. Okay, that brings us back over to Gramina, who is kind of in trouble now. Hopefully she can get some good dice rolls on this guy. She swings her broadsword at the ocean orc, hitting it with a 2. Yes, that's a good swing. It defends one, but not the other. It is dead. And I do think also that that should probably scare her a little bit about going down this hallway with no backup, knowing that she's down to 2 body points and that the other characters have some healing spells. Let's move her back towards Treyas so that there's not such a big gap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do we move her off camera? Yeah, we do. There we go. Speaking of Treyas, it is his turn next. And he is down over here. We're going to go ahead and get him moving. Hopefully he can get within sight of Gramina. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, that's questionable. Oh, that is questionable. Okay, guys, help me out there. Is there line of sight there? I'm going to say no. What do you guys think? She's pretty clearly around the corner. I don't think he can cast that. Do you guys agree? Darn. I mean, the normal Hero Quest rule is you want a straight thing like a pencil to go between the center of both characters, and it can't pass a wall. And this pretty clearly does. Yeah. I don't think that's going to be a thing this turn. But he's close. if either of them had gotten one more, well, maybe not Atreus, if Grimina had gotten one more, can they firebend? No. I mean, I guess technically, Atreus did use the Fire of Wrath spell earlier, which would be about as close to firebending as you would get in this universe. Let's see, we are then at Moonstone, who is on the other camera. Here she is. We can move her one and let her fire in, at least at that mountain goblin. Maybe she can take out one of the threats. Moonstone sends a blast from her oak wand, hitting the goblin with a 1, which it does not defend. At least got rid of one guy in there. I assume Justin Pollitt's still hanging out in here. How's Melar's maze going? Are you getting through there? Have you found the talisman yet? The next quest is going to be difficult too. It's the one where they start captured and they don't have any of their stuff. Okay, that was both her things, so she moved and attacked there. So monster's turn. We have both of these guys in this yellow room. Let's get a little bit closer to this action now that we're not worried about catching too many heroes all at once. Now this Goblin Archer may as well stay where he is, being that he can fire. So we are going to send the Dread Warrior up to attack close range. The Dread Warriors have very high attack. The Dread Warrior swings its mace at Thraken, hitting him with a 2. Luckily Thraken has Borin's armor, so he's pretty good at defense. He only blocks 1. He takes the other hit. Excuse me, that brings him down to 8. Also, the Goblin Archer can go ahead and throw a boomerang. That's not going to hit too hard, probably, but we'll go ahead and roll it. The Goblin Archer throws a boomerang at Thraken, hitting him with a critical hit of 2. Okay, I stand corrected. He hit him the same amount as the Dread Warrior did. And he does not defend either of those. Clearly, he did not see that coming. Because who's going to see a boomerang flying at you when you're instead looking at a big old armored Dread Warrior? Justin says, I found the talisman just now. I don't know if I should explore more rooms or get out of there. Probably get out. No heals left and everyone is at less than half health. Yeah.
Get out of there.
That sucks, but I agree. You should probably get out of there. Go ahead and says Spider-Man would have. Yeah. That's for sure. Unfortunately, Thraken does not have a spidey sense. Okay, that is going to conclude our monster's turn for now. We need to get actually back to Thraken so he can attack back at this Dread Warrior. Thraken swings his broadsword, hitting the Dread Warrior with a 1. Oh man, you gotta hit harder than that. By some miracle, the Dread Warrior does not defend that attack. It is definitely not dead, but we're getting some chip damage in. Yet. Exactly. Thraken is going to eventually become Spider-Man. That's the secret twist ending. Justin says, I absolutely love this game, even more than Gloomhaven, and I really love that game too. That's awesome. I'm glad we were able to introduce you to a new worthwhile hobby. This is certainly my favorite board game. I couldn't get talked into many other board games other than this, I don't think. Let's see, what else can he do? He could use his other action to search this room for secret doors, and there are none. All right, old Grummy. Here she is up here. We are, what are we going to do with her? Now, we were trying to close the gap between her and Atreus, so really all we need to do for her is that. We just move her 1, and she can't do anything else standing in that particular spot, but she is at least in line to receive one of his 3 healing spells. So we should be plenty good there. So we'll just go ahead and do that and leave it at that. Atreus then is going to use his first action to cast Water of Healing on Grimina. Make sure I show that to the right camera. This is just a good old normal healing spell that gives her 4 of her body points back. It's going to do 1, 2, 3, and 4. This puts her back up to 6, which is still kind of low, but definitely better than she was before. And then he can use his other action to move on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This also gives us the benefit of the two of them being much closer together. Justin says, and I can use the figures for D&D or Daggerheart once I buy the system. Yeah, absolutely. If you start doing your own kind of homebrew rules and stuff, by all means, you could incorporate any other board game you have that has elements that work that you like. Put it all in there. I mean, that's what my dad was doing for the longest time. He had elements of just about every other one of these board games you can imagine. As long as it made sense to him and it worked well and it didn't break anything, he was doing it. Okay, that leaves us with the Druid over here who can hopefully get a little bit of extra damage in on that Dread Warrior. It is totally possible for her to finish it off if she gets a critical hit and it doesn't defend. She sends off a blast of energy from her Oak Wand, hitting it with a critical hit, okay? Let's see, if it doesn't get any black shields, she took it out. I'll tell you what, sometimes the dice enjoy giving us twists. And this time, the twist is, this Dread Warrior was looking the other direction and did not see the blast of magic coming, and that magic burned it straight up. It is gone. It's too bad we can't just like award her shapeshift spell back for that, because that was statistically unlikely to happen, and she made it happen. Okay, have they searched that room for traps? Yes, they have, so they know that it's not dangerous to walk in there. I think she can go ahead and walk in there now. 1, 2, 3. We'll just get close range up on this guy. Monster's turn. The only monster on the board is that goblin. Now, it attacks better long range, so there's really no reason that it wouldn't like back up a couple of squares so that it can throw its boomerang again. The goblin throws a boomerang, this time at Moonstone, but misses her. The dice are turning back into our favor. Justin says, I'm pretty sold on First Light once I have $50 to spare. Absolutely. I've got a couple of those because there's an alternate board on the back and the alternate hero sculpts, and like you messaged me earlier about the dragon that comes in that. I've got a couple of those. Those are handy. I sure don't remember where I put them now. Oh, here they are. Yeah. First Light Dragon. There's a part of me that wishes it was a little bigger, but I can't complain. That is still really neat. Yeah, he's going to look really good painted, absolutely. Especially for a game that mostly just comes with cardboard standees rather than miniatures. This was a really neat thing to include. Alright, that puts us back to Draken. Yeah, I was about to change the camera, but we don't need to. It is this guy right here, and he needs to get in there and get rid of that goblin, pretty much is what's going on here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Draken swings his broadsword at the goblin, hitting it with a 1, which it does not defend. Gone. Okay. Nice. That takes us over to Gramina, who is in the corner now and feeling much better. She is moving 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this gives her line of sight down this hallway right here. So let's go ahead and get that moving. There is a wall right here. Actually, we didn't quite need to position the camera that far away. Let me get closer. There we go. So there's a wall there. There's a door right here on this corner. And there's also, what kind of orc is that? I believe that is a swamp orc standing right there. Again, excuse me while I put my face literally an inch away from the quest map so that I can see my color coding. Swamp monsters sacrifice a little bit of defense for better attack. Justin says, I actually like cardboard standees. Gloomhaven has a bunch, and I've made some out of photo paper as well. That's true, and you don't have to paint them, which is also kind of a nice, like, you know, you don't have to wait quite so long to get the nice painted minis. I think I've always preferred the actual minis just because it feels a little more real. But again, I'm glad they did it that way for the sake of being able to charge a lot less. That was a good idea on whoever's part that did that. Okay, now she wasn't quite done with her movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. She's technically got 2 moves left, and again, she knows this square is not trapped, so 9. So what is she going to do? Is she going to stop and search for traps? Is she going to continue her movement, or is she going to stop right there and fire at the orc? Excuse me, she's going to stop and search for traps. And there are no traps down that little hallway, so from where she's standing to where the orc is standing, no traps. Yeah, it's more than 50% cheaper. Yeah, Justin, you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Okay. I wonder if anybody's ever going to make a 3D version of the alternate board that's on the underside of the first light board. That would be kind of neat. That's part of the reason I haven't tried to incorporate any of those quests into any campaigns yet, is because I'd have to use the actual board rather than this 3D board. And I like the 3D board. You'll probably do something modular with it, because I think I mentioned this before. I do actually have 2 of these 3D boards. The other one's not painted, but if I took it apart so that it wasn't all hooked together with the little plastic things, then I could use it as a more modular board that could replicate the first light board a little better. Okay, after Gramina is done, that means that we are at Treyas. Right, we're already at the right camera angle for Treyas. See what he's doing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we might as well go 8. I mean, Gramina's clearly interested. She searched for traps. She's clearly interested in going down this way. Treyas is going to fire a blast of energy from his wand, but misses. I don't know why I said that so weird. And then we are over to our druid, who is back in the yellow room over here. We have treasure search that we could do. So is she going to search for treasure or leave? She's going to do the treasure search. She might as well now. Let's see what she finds. Moonstone steps on a stone and feels it start to give way beneath her. She jumps back from the pit trap just in time. Looking down into the pit, she sees a sack tied to a belt containing 35 gold coins. Not bad. Let's see, that's going to put us up to 350, I do believe. That's a good question. Nice. Justin says, I'd buy it tomorrow, but right now every spare dollar is going toward Xavier's birthday shopping trip. Yep, absolutely makes sense. Go ahead and say it sounded like you were disappointed. Yeah, yes. I wasn't, but I agree with you, it sounded that way. Okay, Moonstone does have another action left, so let's go ahead and get a moving. Oh, 3. That's not very much. 1, 2. See what she's going to do with this door here. We're just about to the extent of this arm. She's going to open the door into this red room and reveal another door. Are we on camera here still? Yeah, we are. We also have a table. Now this is an underground cave, so I doubt we're going to have carpet down here. Let's put a dirt floor down. And we'll get a fancy Mage of the Mirror table. I love this sculpt of the table too. And a couple of Wasteland Fimmers. Getting kind of tired of seeing these guys. This quest is full of them. There they are. 1, 2, Gramina coming for you. Yes. Gohan is planted firmly on Team Gramina. Yes. Absolutely. Who could blame him? Let's see. 1, 2. She technically does have a third movement, but I don't know why in the world she would go in there. It would get her surrounded by Fimmers. In fact, yeah, I don't even know that we need to draw a card for that. I don't feel like any player would be dumb enough to walk in there. She doesn't have an action to search for traps. She doesn't have an action to attack. She would be guaranteed to get surrounded. We might as well leave her there. And indeed, it is the monster's turn. So since we're pointing at this, let's go ahead and do that. It's going to be the closer Fimmer coming for her. The Femur swings its axe at Moonstone, hitting her with a 1. She does not block. This drops her to 8 body points. If we can get her down a couple more, then that will justify either drinking that potion of healing or casting Life Force, which will give her her shapeshift back again. Justin says, when I do finally get a copy, you should come out to play in the first game. Bring the family if you gotta. Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun to come play that for sure. I mentioned a couple of times, I've read the First Light quest book, but I've never actually played any of the quests. So it would be kind of neat to see what's going on in there. My understanding is that it kind of is a parallel storyline to the quest book we've been playing. So the events of the First Light book happen at the same time as the events for the Coming Storm do, which is neat. Again, I don't know if I'll add that to my canon at any point, but again, a fantastic idea, I assume by Stephen Baker, the creator. Okay, we got also an orc attack going on up here with our other team. We've got this swamp orc here who is going to come forward and attack Treyas. The swamp orc swings its mace, hitting Treyas with a 2. Oh yes, he is still benefiting from rock skin. Or he was. He blocked one but not the other. This is actually the first damage he's taken this quest. That dropped him to 10 body points and made his rock skin expire. So he's built his constitution skill set a little bit, so he's got more body points than normal. Okay, back to Thraken. So we need to go back, oops, sorry. There, rapid camera switches. We've got him over here. Now he's gonna have to do long range here, but I think we will move him up at least a little closer. 1, 2, 3. That way if him and Moonstone need to trade places, they can pretty easily. But for this turn, he's going to put an arrow in his short bow and fire at the Femur. But he misses. Whoops. Gramina. Gohan says, I told them to do that. Yes. Justin says, I don't know if you want to do another guest or another quest tonight. Oh, I don't know if I want to do another quest tonight. Yeah, I don't blame you. And like I said, that quest 6 is usually pretty difficult. Even with all of my rules kind of that benefit the heroes, I still pretty often lose heroes on that quest 6. That is, although you may have a slight advantage to the average player for that quest, if you remember anything about the episode where we played that quest, you already know where the hero's equipment is, which is really the only danger in that quest, is accidentally opening a room full of monsters when the heroes don't have any of their equipment. Okay, Gramina is where we're at. Yes, so she is right there, and she can fire at that swamp orc. So Gramina puts an arrow in her crossbow and fires, hitting the orc with a 1. And this is a swamp orc, so it has a kind of bad defense. It does not defend, it is dead. This gives her the ability to use her second action to either search this area for secret doors or move up towards that door. She is going to search for secret doors in this area, and there are none. I mean, honestly, where would it go? That was probably dumb on my part. I guess it could have gone down into this yellow room. Yeah, actually, now I think about it, totally could have. Okay, Treyas. Now Treyas can definitely go for that door. There's no more searching to be done, except he rolled real bad, 1, 2. So not opening the door this turn, I'm afraid. And we're back to the Druid. Moonstone here is right face to face with a Femur, and that's right, Thraken did not manage to damage it, so it may be in her benefit. Yeah, we'll probably leave her there, because we actually do kind of want her to lose another 2 body points so that she can get her shapeshift back. She swings her wooden staff at the Femur and misses it. Oh man, I would have preferred she get some chip damage in on it at least. She is looking in the doorway into this red room. That means she can do some searching. Is it going to be traps or secret doors? It's going to be secret doors, and there are none in that room. Gohan says, never underestimate the power of a secret door. That's absolutely correct. Sometimes it leads you a secret passage away a lot easier to go, that is for sure. Monster's turn is just that Femur that we're already looking at. The Femur swings its axe at Moonstone, hitting her with a 1, which she defends. Nice, she actually got 2 white shields there. That brings us back to Thraken the Barbarian, who is going to put another arrow in his short bow and fire at the Femur, this time hitting it with 2. That's pretty good. The Femur does not defend, so he actually takes it out. Very nice. He might as well go in there now. Well, they don't know they don't know what the trap information is, so actually that may not be a good idea. So 1, 2. Sorry, 1, 2. Is he going to stop right there because of the trap thing? No, he's not. So 3. He's kind of just taking the risk there. Luckily, neither of those squares are trapped. That brings us back to Grimina up there at the top. Getting a little bit more lucky than Treus with movement. 1, 2, 3, 4. And she is going to open the door here into this blue room where she finds another door. Another door. A small army of goblins, including 2 mountain goblins. Grab a couple of those guys here. Two mountain goblins. Ooh, and this poor guy here is missing his sword. I wonder what happened to that over the years. He must have been trying to attack a stone wall. There is also an ocean goblin. Again, ocean monsters are fast, but they've sacrificed a little bit of attack. Here. There is also a goblin archer. This is going to be one of the little bomb guys. See all the doors. And finally, our newly christened Morkai Oron. Another lost adventurer hanging out in the corner. Now, I'm sure if Bohemius is still watching, this mini was included in the Mythic tier and is meant to be Mentor. But we're just going to use it as a general wizard, just kind of an older wizard who was also duped and stuck down here, has been fighting for his life and not doing very well. He is hurt, but if they can manage to get him out of there, he will join the hero's ranks. I'm going to go ahead and mark his name. I've got a character sheet for him ready here, and it seems as if everybody is good with the name Morkai, so we'll go ahead and stick that in there. Morkai Oron is going to be his name, and hopefully they will get him out of there safely. Okay, Grimina, are we searching for traps? No, she is more concerned about getting in there to divert attention from that wizard. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, she's got plenty of movement left. So now, because we don't know where traps might be, we need to determine which monster is she going for, or is she gonna go like just directly defend that wizard? That may be the smarter option. Let's aim her either at this square or this square. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, actually she can only reach that. She's gonna make sure that she saves the day. That's exactly right. So she's gonna go here right next to that wizard, and she has her crossbow that she can fire. She can fire at this mountain goblin, that mountain goblin, or the goblin archer in the corner. And she is gonna go for the goblin archer in the corner. I'd say that's the smartest move there too. Now let's just hope she gets a good hit. She loads up an arrow in her crossbow and fires, hitting the goblin archer with a 1. Could have gone better, but that still might get rid of it. Nope, it defended. Darn it. She just has the worst luck of all time. She's got good intentions and just the worst luck ever. Okay, Treus can also get in there. Can he also block? Yeah, I think he's got enough movement. 1. Now, next question, is he more concerned about traps than Grimina was? Nope. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Luckily, none of those are trapped. What kind of spells does he have that might help us here? So he's got a couple of healing spells. Now they can't heal Morkai, unfortunately. He is locked at, I think it's 4 body points. Yes, he has 4 body points left. He can actually attack and defend, but not very well. He's got Sleep and Tempest. So the question is, I mean, he's probably better off trying to actually kill one of those guys. So I'd say for his line of sight, it would need to be the Mountain Goblin, maybe that Mountain Goblin. No, the first Mountain Goblin is definitely blocking line of sight. So maybe the Ocean Goblin or the Mountain Goblin. The Mountain Goblin would be the smarter target. Let's just lock him at that. He sends a blast of energy from his Oak Wand, hitting the Goblin with a 1. It does not defend. Yes, his card has wizard stats and description. Yes, agreed. Gohan says he has fuel, he has fire, he has that which I desire. Yes. Oh, that's great. Gotta love the Metallica reference. Oh, I wonder if you've seen this, Bohemians. I was telling my dad about this earlier. I told Savannah about this either earlier today or a couple of days ago. So the official Hasbro Avalon Hill page has been putting out interesting little like character diagrams for the different heroes. They post an in-color picture of the hero with little arrows pointing to different parts of the hero and talking about whatever the arrow is pointing at. And it's been really interesting and really neat to see. But they put one out for that Mentor Mini, and they are apparently canonizing something that I can't even properly describe to you how much I dislike, which is on that particular card, they mention that his name is not Mentor. They don't say what his name is. He is also not the Mentor. He is a Mentor. So it's indicating there's more than one. It says something about mentors live in high towers and blah, 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 blah. Oh, and that rubbed me just about as hard as it could the wrong way. The idea that there's not a single like wizard master in their canon. There's a whole bunch of them that are considered mentors. And I really, really dislike that. I just always assumed that this was a character whose name was Mentor and that he was this extra powerful, really old wizard. So we're definitely keeping that canon over here in this universe, that there is one wizard named Mentor who is the wizard master of the Empire, if you will. That was, I did not see that coming. Okay, so that was Treyas. So we need to go back over here to Moonstone. Here she is right here in the doorway. We do need to see if she's going to search for traps before she does anything else. She is. There are no traps in that room, but she can actually fire from her current position at that Femur and it not be a big deal. She sends a blast of energy from her Oak Wand, hitting the Femur with a critical hit of 2. Is she going to one-shot this guy? Yes, she is. The Femur does not defend at all. Excellent. I'm going to reshuffle my randomizer deck too. Wait a sec, I need to check this. You said on the Avalon Hill official website. It was the Avalon Hill official Facebook page is where I saw this. I'd pull that up on my phone and show the camera, but unfortunately we are currently looking through my phone's camera. Right here. Oh, okay. Savannah's got her phone here. Let me see if I can find this just in case you can't. So unless I misunderstood or missaw something. Okay, wait a minute here. I may indeed have Okay, the page I saw this on is called HeroQuest-Hasbro/Avalon Hill-fan page. So maybe this isn't official and I should retract my statement. Keep on scrolling down. I've seen some of the other posts. Oh, here it is. So the post itself looks like this. Can't see it on the stream super well because of the lighting, but it is a diagram of that character, and they're talking about different things. A couple of times it mentions, his hand is raised to teach, guide, and protect. A mentor leads with knowledge and helps others in time of need. A tome of ancient knowledge. It contains spells, histories, and secrets of the past. A mentor's wisdom is his greatest tool. Mentors are keepers of ancient wisdom. They train heroes, preserve knowledge, and stand against dark forces with an understanding rather than strength alone. Mentors dwell in towers, quiet places, and ancient halls. They seek knowledge in solitude and offer it to those who are worthy. Okay, so again, I should probably retract some of my disappointment and my claim that it was from the official Avalon Hill page. No, it isn't. It is from a page that is clearly marked fan page, and that was my mistake. So I don't know if this is official or not. It looks very official. I believe that page is posting a lot of AI-generated stuff. That is very true. Hopefully that's all this is, because if that is kind of how Avalon Hill is treating this, that's at least disappointing to me. But I don't know. I wish I had noticed that before I complained about it so much that it says fan page right on it. Okay, that was everybody's turn, right? So we're on the monster's turn over here. We need to get back up here to our room full of goblins. I'm gonna try and get just a little bit closer. This camera stand does not like being down though, so it may not stay. Nope. That right there is about as close as we can get. So we can definitely, we've protected Mordecai there, but these two heroes are going to get surrounded at least to a degree. I guess it doesn't make much sense for that goblin archer to move, so maybe not surrounded. Let's get this ocean orc over here to Traeus. Ocean goblin, sorry. Ocean monsters don't have very much attack, only 1 dice, and it does miss. Over here, 1, 2, 3. Mountain goblin on Gramina. Mountain goblin swings its sword, hitting Gramina with a critical hit of 2, because of course it got a critical hit. But she defended it. All right, go Gramina. She's got a guy to protect there. She's not letting anything happen. And then this goblin archer, let's see, we're well within a 13 by 13 here, aren't we? Oh yeah. Could hit either of them. He is going to aim at Traeus in this case. So the goblin archer throws a bomb at Traeus, hitting him with a 1. Which Traeus does not defend. This only drops him down to 9 body points, luckily, so not too bad. Gohan says, can't take her down that easy. Absolutely. All right, back over here to Thraken is in this red room, and all that needs done here is search for treasure, but he doesn't have to do that since Moonstone is in a position to enter this room as well. So let's card it. Treasure or leave? He is going to do treasure. Anything special here? Nope, normal deck. See what he finds. While he is searching, a hidden arrow shoots from the wall and strikes him. He loses 1 body point. Could have been worse. This does drop him down to 5 body points. So this is something Moonstone may want to consider using her Life Force spell on him, or passing him that potion. Bohemia says, nah, it's misleading. Looks official, but is not. They post beautiful AI stuff, but it's just for fun. Okay. Good, that makes me feel a lot better, and I'm glad you had me search for that so that I could be clear about it too, because I was definitely more upset than I needed to be about it. I do kind of wish that they would, there's probably no real way to enforce this, but I wish that they would have to say something when there's AI stuff involved, even if it was official. I wish they would say whether this was artwork done by a real human or not. Let's see, so that was Thraken's stuff. That was only 1 action though, so he can move as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to open the door into this blue room, which is off camera, and I don't think this camera is going to extend any further. Let me go ahead and switch, and we'll just pull this camera down here to the blue room. There we go. In this blue room, we have another door. We also have a fireplace. Again, this is just decoration, doesn't do anything. I'm really looking forward to seeing some of these fireplaces painted too. That's going to be neat. And actually, nothing else. Now, Thraken doesn't have any actions left, but is he going to stop here? Yes, he is. He can't do the trap search, but he is concerned about walking into one. Justin says, my friend has a YouTube channel and it auto-generated an AI thumbnail without him asking for it or informing him. Yeah, that's kind of creepy. Weird. I know that if you don't upload a thumbnail, that it will use AI to generate 3 options that are just stills from your video, but I've never heard of it doing that. That is crazy. I hope that doesn't start happening more often. Not that I want to dive into a discussion that's completely unrelated to HeroQuest, but you know, as a musician, and we pride ourselves on using real instruments. When we record, we do everything real. We don't even sample the drums. Those are the drums that you are hearing currently are real acoustic drums, real performance by a real person on a real instrument. So the AI stuff is definitely not in my wheelhouse. I struggle to see it as something other than a slap in the face, you know what I mean? When it's used for art form, to be clear. Bohemia says Facebook allows you to tag AI creations, but it's up to the author to do it. Gotcha, that makes sense. So they don't have to. I was thinking that I had occasionally seen, you know, it'll say who posted it, and then under their name it'll say AI info. So I guess that makes sense if the creator can determine whether or not it says anything about it. Okay, back up here, it is Gramina's turn. And she is swinging there at a mountain goblin. She swings her broadsword and hits it with a 1. And it does not defend, it is out of there. Nice. Out it goes. We are now also at Gramina's second action, and nothing has been searched in this room. So let's see, is she doing traps or secret doors? She is doing secret doors, and there are none. Okay, Treyas, let's see if we can just go ahead and try and clear some more out of this room. He is fighting that ocean goblin. He swings his wooden staff at the ocean goblin and misses, unfortunately. Okay, now he's got some spells. He might as well do something. Let's go ahead and cast Tempest on that the goblin archer. So the archer that's up in the corner there that's causing trouble, we are going to cast Tempest on that, which means it's going to miss its next turn. Back down here, we have... Oh, nope, that's the wrong camera. We actually have to move the camera now. I forgot. We have Moonstone the Druid in that yellow room. The yellow room doesn't need any more searching. The red room doesn't need any more searching. She just needs to get into that blue room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is she going to stop here and search for traps? No, she is not. 6, 7. How do I always end up... Another weird thing that's happening. The number of times in these episodes that I have unintentionally said 6 and 7 separate from any other numbers is strange. Is she going to stop here and search for anything, or is she going to finish her movement? Let's say traps, secret doors, treasure, or finish her movement. She's finishing her movement. Okay. So 8, which means she's going to go ahead and open that blue door. In this new room, we have yet another door, and seemingly nothing else. Kind of strange. I knew that door wasn't all the way down. Gohan says rigged. Yeah, no kidding. Now, is she going to stop here and search the yellow room for traps? No. Man, she is just not concerned even a little bit. Okay, she's got a lot of options here because she's standing in the yellow room, but she is also looking into the blue room. So she could search for traps or secret doors, or traps, secret doors, or treasure. So we've got 5 options here. Face cards redraw, so we're gonna go with 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means she is searching secret doors in the blue room. She walked all the way through it and into the next room, only to turn around and be like, oh yeah, is there secret doors in here? And the answer is no. Gohan says, in Hero Quest, traps fear Gramina. Yes, she's becoming the Chuck Norris of the game. I love it. That's great. Yes. Monster's turn. We've only got one monster on the board. I got to remember that we're moving the camera instead of switching it. We have the Ocean Goblin here attacking Treyas. The Ocean Goblin swings its sword, but misses Treyas. That's good. We also have the Goblin Archer there, but Treyas' Tempest spell prevents it from attacking on this turn. So we are right back to Thraken the Barbarian, who is down here in the red room. Okay, now we are definitely going to require him to search for treasure before he leaves that room, as he is theoretically the last hero that will pass through it. So 1, 2, 3. There's now no reason to search for traps in there because they've stepped on every relevant square. So let's go ahead and stop him. Actually, we'll stop him at that last square right there and search for treasure in the blue room. Let's see what he finds. He finds a wandering monster. We are hitting every single one of those cards this time around. And as always for this quest, we are triggering a Wasteland Femur who is hiding here behind the fireplace. The Femur swings its axe, hitting him with a 1. Which he does block, but just barely. Okie dokie, that brings us up to the other room. I still am trying to switch the camera instead of just move it. We are now at Gramina, who might as well start trying to take care of that archer. Can she get over there to it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, she can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She is going to swing her broadsword at that goblin archer and miss. Oh, the dice are supposed to be randomization. How are they giving her this personality of missing attacks and missing defense? So strange. Treyas then over here can hopefully at least get rid of this ocean goblin. He swings his wooden staff, but also misses. Okay, the defense of our new hero is starting to go a little bit wrong. Gohan says it's a distraction. Merlin says, ha ha. Yeah, that's absolutely right. Okay, now Mordecai can do stuff. So again, he's got low health, and we want to try and keep him away from doing too much. He can't attack long range, but theoretically we can send him out there to help attack. It's a little risky, but even if both monsters hit him with critical hits and he doesn't defend, it won't kill him. It'll almost kill him, but I think we're safe in this case to go ahead and let Mordecai come out from his corner and try to help get rid of this ocean goblin. He must also have a wooden staff because he's attacking with 2. He hits the ocean goblin with a 1, which it does not defend. All right. Brand new hero's already doing good. Justin says, I use a program for my online Daggerheart game called Owlbear Rodeo. I bet I could use that to run this game online. Yeah, probably so. Gohan, that's how it always starts. Yeah, she's building up to something. She's got a plan. We don't know what it is, but she's got a plan. Okay, then we have Moonstone is where we're at. Again, I'm trying to switch the camera when I don't need to. And she probably doesn't need to help Thraken with that Femur. He's one of the stronger heroes we have on the team, probably the strongest at the moment. So she can do some stuff there in that yellow room. So she has search for traps, search for secret doors, search for treasure, or leave the yellow room. And she is going to start off with a treasure search. Let's see what she finds. A potion of defense. Nice. So this will give her a temporary boost in defense if she chooses to drink it. We'll go ahead and write that on her character sheet so that she can use it at an opportune moment. Okay, she now has the option to search for traps, search for secret doors, or leave. and she is going to search for traps. There are no traps in that yellow room. That takes us back to the monster's turn, where we do have a couple of things happening here. Now again, don't forget this Femur can't do anything. So it seems like it's been a little while, but it was because it was right at the beginning of the hero's turn that it popped out. So it has attacked on this turn cycle. If it survives the next turn, it will be attacking then. We do have that Goblin Archer right there, who shouldn't attack Gramina unless he's going to run away. Let's go ahead and do that. 1, 2, 3. Marlon says those always come in handy. Yes, those potions of defense can really make the difference in a battle. So this Goblin Archer now has 3 options, either Treyas, Morkai, or Gramina, and he is going to aim for Morkai. That's a random card drawing. The Goblin Archer throws a bomb at Morkai and hits him with a 1. Morkai does not defend. Ouch. That puts him down to 3 body points. However, that is the only monster we have on the board, really. So let's come back over here to Thraken, who is going to try and deal with this Femur. Thraken swings his broadsword, hitting the Femur with a 1. The Femur does not defend. Is there anything else he can do? Yes, he can indeed use his second action to search the yellow room for secret doors. Since he is adjacent to that room, he can look into it and search. There are none. All right, Gramina. Gonna take a second swing at this archer here. Yeah, let's go ahead and she is gonna fire at it so that she can search with her other action. She puts an arrow in her crossbow and fires, hitting him with a 2, which is a skilled strike. That Goblin Archer is super dead. Yeah, she's coming in and doing handy stuff. This will allow her to either search for traps or treasure in this room. Let's go ahead and card that. Which one's she gonna do? She's going for treasure, which is good. Honestly, it ought to be her searching for treasure every time. So let's see what she finds. Just make sure there's nothing special. Nope. Now remember, she's got 2 skills that could affect this. Coin Hunter, which will give her extra coins if she finds them, and Danger Sense, which will allow us to discard a trap card just once for this search. Let's see what she finds. All right, Gramina. There is a mismatched stone in the floor that seems slightly raised above the others. Gramina finds that. It pulls away from the other stones in the floor very easily. Under it is a discolored sack containing 25 coins. Awesome, so for her that's actually 50 coins, thanks to her Coin Hunter. That puts us up to 400 coins. You know what? I'm not 100% sure that I gave the heroes their coins at the end of last night's quest. Well, if I did or didn't, that's on me, so we're not going to give it to him now, but the more I'm thinking about it, I don't think we did. Gohan says not just dead, super dead. Exactly. Exactly. All right, Gramina, that was good stuff. Treyas, might as well search this room for traps. And luckily there are none. They probably should have done that before now. But his second action, he can move, and he's got a couple of doors that he can get to as long as he doesn't roll garbage. But he did roll garbage, which means he doesn't reach either door. 1, 2, 3. Okay, Morkai then. I guess we might as well have Morkai. It's probably not smart to have Morkai open a door, though. If there's monsters behind it, he's probably going to get attacked. So yeah, on second thought, let's not move Morkai. Justin says, yeah, I can do it. It will take a lot of work to do it, but it's doable. The dice are the main issue. Yeah, totally. That puts us back down here to Moonstone, who again surely doesn't need to help Thraken with that Femur. He's got that handled. The yellow room has now been searched for everything it needs to be, so let's go ahead and send her off to this new door. 1, 2, 3, 4. She opens the door, and in this new room we find 2 treasure chests. One here, and no, we're not on camera. There we go. 2 treasure chests in the tiny little room, and also 2 swamp orcs. Here we go. Swamp Orc here, a Swamp Orc there. Is she going to stop here and search for traps? No, she is not. Is she? It's not smart for her to walk in there, right? She might as well fire. Again, Swamp Orc's higher attack. She doesn't want to get hit by both of those guys at once. So let's go ahead and have her fire from where she is currently standing. Which orc is she going to fire at? She's actually going to fire at the bottom one. There we go. She sends a blast out from her oak wand, hitting the orc with a critical hit of 2. That is actually a skilled strike for a Swamp Orc because they have bad defense. Super dead. Just like that. Monster's turn then. We have 2 monsters, both currently on camera. We've got that other Swamp Orc, and now this Femur can attack too. Let's take care of that Femur first. The Femur swings its axe at Draken, hitting him with a 2. He defends both, but just barely. The Swamp Orc swings its sword at Moonstone, hitting her with a 3. Ooh, that hurts. She defends 1 and takes 2 damage. That, again, is actually perfect for her. That drops her to 6, which means she can cast her Life Force and get her Shapeshift back. And Merlin says maybe some good treasure. Yeah, hopefully, with 2 treasure chests, you'd think. Okay. Yeah, that's Monster's turn. So we are actually back to Thraken over here. He's going to take another swing with his broadsword at that Femur, hitting it with 2. The Femur blocks 1, but not the other, since it was already damaged. It is dead. Just regular dead this time. All right, that means he can move now. Pretty good movement there too. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then he can't get any further. Gohan says 1 is a mimic. Yes, they did. Actually, HeroQuest did very recently introduce mimic chests in their version of the Wizards of Mortar expansion. Where did I put those guys? Yeah, here it is. So they made a mimic door and a mimic chest, and I haven't decided yet if I'm gonna put them in. But we've got a mimic chest here. Now, they didn't call it a mimic either. I think they called it a dread shifter or something, and then we've got a mimic door as well. It's interesting. I'm not quite sure yet if I'll incorporate those, but it's for sure an interesting idea. All right, Gramina. Oh, we don't need to switch cameras. We need to move cameras up here. Gramina, what are we gonna do here? This room has been searched for everything we need to search for. We just need to figure out which door she's gonna open, and she's already standing next to one. There's really no reason to card it. She's already next to one. Gohan says, I got the Lego D&D set on day 1 for the Lego Mimic gift. Nice. Yes. Oh, that's great. I bet that was fun putting all that stuff together. In this green room, which is slightly off camera, Gramina has found the stairway out. Excellent, and she actually hasn't used any of her actions yet, because opening a door is not an action. Let's see, what is she gonna do? Is she gonna search this new room for traps, search it for secret doors, or walk in there and search for treasure? She's gonna walk in and search for treasure. So let's just go in 1 for now. And go ahead and says, so many fun Easter eggs. Oh, I bet. That's the perfect place for stuff like that. Gramina finds a potion of warmth. Now this is kind of a weird find for this early. This is something that's honestly not that helpful until the Frozen Horror expansion, which is way later. So the reason that I've left it in the deck for now is that they can sell them to the apothecary for some extra gold. Or she could keep it until it's useful. It does actually restore 1 single body point if she wanted to keep it for use. But we'll probably sell it at the end of the quest to get a little bit of extra gold for something else. Okay, Treus then. So we know what's in the green room. We might as well have Treus head up to that other door. Still rolling garbage. He opens the door into the brown room to find one extra door and nothing else. Are we going to stop here and search for treasure? Or traps, sorry. And the answer is no. So he's using that last action to go ahead and move up in there. Now that he's in there, traps, secret doors, or treasure? King is redraw for a three-way. Yes, he's doing treasure. They're just in it for the treasure now. Let's see, what has he got? Half buried in the center of the room, you find a deep red ruby worth 50 gold coins. Nice, they're getting all the gold. That puts us up to 450. Making up for the fact that I'm pretty sure that I accidentally screwed them out of a pretty good payday yesterday. Okay, and then Mordecai, also standing in that room, he's just trying to get out of there. He didn't get a very good roll. 1, 2, 3, but we're definitely gonna head him towards those stairs so we can get him out of here and onto the team. Then we have Moonstone trying to get rid of this swamp orc down here. Moonstone, oh yes, that's right. She could cast her life force spell. Yeah, let's do that. First action, she is going to cast her life force spell, which is essentially just a druid version of a healing spell. This gives her 4 body points back, which puts her back up to her maximum of 10, which means she regains access to her shapeshift spell. Now again, she can't cast it, and she does have another action left, but she can't cast 2 spells on one turn. So she is just going to go ahead and attack this swamp orc with her wooden staff, hitting it with a 1, which it blocks. That's surprising. Go ahead and says, surprise gold stash. Yes. You'll have to balance it out later. Yeah. The problem is I can't remember if I did or didn't. I'm pretty sure I didn't. That's something I usually do on stream, so I guess I could go back to that episode and watch to see if I gave it to him. I'm pretty sure I didn't. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll go back and watch the stream, and if I didn't do it on stream, I'll know I didn't do it at all, and I could give it to him kind of as a retrospect. I don't know, actually, I'll leave that up to you guys, because that is a little weird, right? We're past it. So do I just not give it to him, and that's just my mistake, whoops-a-daisy? Or do I go check and give it to him if they deserve it?
His third code thing that's on his back will call it.
Ooh, yeah.
Because that's how it works.
Right, obviously, even if that were the right mini, it would be weird.
I thought about red. You think red would be doing that?
Yeah, I can see that. Okay, where are we at here? That was Moonstone trying to attack that orc, and she did use both of her actions. So we're back to Monster's turn. So this orc is now going to attack her. The swamp orc swings its sword at Moonstone, hitting her with a 1, luckily not very hard. But she doesn't block it, so she actually does lose a body point. Now this doesn't take away her shapeshift spell because she hasn't cast it. This does take her down to 9 body points. Gohan says, I just need to know. Yeah, I'm super curious. That would be the very first thing I did once the quest was done. So before any cleanup happened, before we talk about skill sets or anything, that's usually when I do it. First thing, quest is done, give them the gold, clean up the character sheets, erase everything, and then do skill sets. So if it's not there, then I didn't do it. Okay, we are back then to Thraken the Barbarian, who can help out by shooting at this orc. So Thraken puts an arrow in his short bow and fires, hitting the orc with 2. That is indeed a skilled strike for a swamp orc. That guy is dead. Although a skilled strike, I suppose, makes him super dead. And this means that Thraken is open to do a second action. We need to get in there and search for traps. That's definitely a risky move, But let's go ahead and do it. He's got health. He's still doing good on health. 1, 2. Is he going to stop here? Has he thought to search for traps, or is he going to do something else instead? So let's just go ahead and give him the option: traps, secret doors, or treasure now that he's in here. And he's going for treasure. Okay, so he needs to finish his move by going up to one of those chests. He's going to go to the upper one, and he is going to search for treasure, which is an especially dumb thing to do if you haven't searched for traps. But he actually got really lucky. None of the squares he stepped on are trapped, and that chest is not trapped. So he finds in that particular chest 50 coins. Puts us up to 500. Justin says, I found a good board image and PDFs of all the cards. Just got to figure out a dice situation and I could run a game with my Daggerheart player. Nice. That'll be super neat if you can get that running. All right, Gramina. Right, we don't switch cameras. Why can't I remember that? Gramina is right up here. Is she going to search for traps, search for secret doors, or leave this room? Yeah, she could do any of those. She is gonna leave the room. So she's not doing any searching. She's more interested in what Trace is up there doing. 1, 2, 3, 4. This room has not been. Whoops! Search for traps. 5. Is she gonna stop here to search for either traps or secret doors? Yes, she is. Okay, which one? Traps. There are no traps in this room. Okay, that actually does bring us to Trace. Secret doors or leave? He's going to do the secret doors. There are no secret doors in this room. Now he can leave. So he's going to go ahead and come up here and open this door. 1, 2, 3. Is this still on camera? Yes, indeed it is. And up in this upper part, we see another wall blocking off movement, which means the only thing that's left is this area here, which essentially means there's nothing else to do there. So again, he could search that area for traps, but he doesn't have to step out there, so there's no reason to know. He could search for secret doors, but where would it go up there? So this is pretty much it. This is all there is left in the quest, is pending some searches down here in the lower area. We are now at Morkai, who is going to continue to try and roll to get out of there, and he does indeed do that this time. So Morkai reaches the stairs, successfully exiting the quest. Oh, and Justin found a dice roller. Nice. Can you upload your own custom stuff to the faces of the dice? Or will you just have to assign a number to Skull, White Shield, or Black Shield? I'm curious about that. My dad was looking for that one time. His hands were bothering him, and I don't think he wanted to actually roll the dice. But he just came up with a system. You know, 1, 2, and 3 was Skull, and 4, 5 were White Shield, and 6 was Black Shield. I'm not sure if that's what he assigned, but it was like that. Okay, so that was all for that. So we are back down here at Moonstone. Is she going to search for traps, search for secret doors, or move in there and search for treasure? She's going to search for traps in this room first. There are none. Lucky for Thraken. With her second action, secret doors or move up to the other chest. She's going to move up to the other chest. 1, 2. So we don't need to do that. Doesn't says it's a Hero Quest specific dice roller. Oh, nice. Has the 2 red dice and the 6 dice with the proper faces. Awesome. Definitely. Yeah, that's handy. She doesn't have the action to actually search that chest, but they're in there ready for it. No monsters on the board, so we are back to Thraken. He might as well do the secret door search. There's no reason for him to steal that other treasure chest from Moonstone. And I hope Gohan's in here. He might be looking at the other stream, because there is a secret door. Right there, right in the middle. We got a secret passage, and Thraken can go ahead and open that door. 1, 2. This right here is the last room in our quest, so we'll actually be done a little earlier. Hopefully, it won't be quite 3 o'clock. In this new room, we find a third treasure chest, but also locked in here for theoretically a really long time is a Chaos Warrior. Now, if we remember, it's been a little while since we've talked about this with lore. Gohan has returned. What have you found, good sir? Because they found a secret door while you were away. We have a Chaos Warrior in here. Now, these are one of the guys from the original Hero Quest. In my lore, the reason that they are still around is because these guys were servants of the evil demon Morkar, which was a being from a long time ago who created chaos magic. One of the things he created while he was in power was these Chaos Warriors. When he was defeated, when Morkar was defeated, chaos magic pretty much disappeared, but these Chaos Warriors remained animated. They're basically undead, but they are very powerful. Stats were done, but no gold. Okay, that's what I thought. So I'll leave it up to you guys. Gohan, Justin, Merlin, Bohemius, if you're still here. Should I give that gold to them? Or do we count that as that was my mistake? I should have done it when it was time. Because I'll admit that's weird, and I'll feel a little weird about giving it to them. But if I didn't do it, they were supposed to get it. What do you guys think? Okay, so finishing up with Thraken here, is he going to move in there or stop? He doesn't have the action to search for traps. But yes, he is not going to move in there just yet. Gramina. That's not the right button. I am bound and determined to switch this camera even though I know I don't need to. There is nothing else to search in this area unless there is a secret door in that green room, so that's probably where we ought to send her. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Secret doors in the green room. There are none. So they now have revealed all the rooms. Once we get rid of this Chaos Warrior and that chest down there, we are good to go for the night. And we're going to remember the gold this time, darn it. Atreus. He is up there in that brown room. We might as well send him, well, very slowly down, 1, 2, towards that Chaos Warrior to help out. Gohan says, I'm of the mind that's what's done is done, but I also wouldn't be opposed to some kind of random bonus at some point in the future, kind of to make up for it. Justin says, if they were supposed to get it, then they get it. Not the hero's fault, human error occurred. You'd expect your job to pay you a short check. That's fair. That's fair. So we've got opposing opinions there so far. Bohemius, Merlin, thoughts there? Yes, I agree, Gohan. I feel like it would have changed prep. Yeah, they absolutely would have had enough gold to get the Druid chainmail too with that money, because it was not a small amount of money either. That we're talking about 600 extra coins that they should have gotten that I just didn't give to them. Yeah, Savannah says I owe them back pay. Yeah, that's definitely is absolutely true. Okay, and then that brings us to Moonstone down here, and she needs to search this other chest. So she's going to start her turn by opening this chest, which is another 50 coins. Puts us up to 550. Gohan says, I'm just here for the story and the jokes. Bohemia says, get the gold. That's two votes for get the gold. Honestly, I could go either way with it. I will not be upset. I don't feel particularly strongly about either way. I would worry that if I gave it to them that I could theoretically be accused of like, hey man, you screwed it up. You should have just left it. So I'm willing to go with the majority there. Merlin says gold. Okay, we will give them the gold at the end of this quest, and we'll just, you know what? We'll transfer my mistake over to Mentor. Mentor was particularly busy and stressed that day. Lord Tome was doing a weird thing, and he forgot to give him the gold he was supposed to. So he'll give it to him at the end of this one. Yeah, I'd say so. We'll just transfer my human error onto the Wizard Master, who's been around theoretically for a long time. He totally would screw some stuff up, right? Moonstone, where are we at? She searched for treasure. Let's go ahead and let her get her shapeshift back. Since we're at the end, it might come in handy for fighting this Chaos Warrior. That is going to take up her turn, but at least she's done a thing there. That is going to take us to the monster's turn, where we are at this Chaos Warrior. Let's try and get this a little bit more centered on camera. And again, I'd love to get closer, but I don't think this stand is going to let us stay right here. No, we got a little closer. Justin says, I also found a card drawing program, so now I just need to grab tokens to represent monsters and players, and I'm good to go. Nice. Awesome. Chaos Warrior attacks Thraken. Now, Chaos Warriors, I needed to give them a little bit different stats than Dread Warriors, so they have slightly less defense, but slightly more attack. So these guys are definitely problems when it comes to attacking. The Chaos Warrior swings its axe at Thraken, and by some crazy, crazy chance, gets 5 white shields, meaning it totally missed. There's a clip. 5 dice, all shields. That's wild. Somebody would assume that was rigged if that was a hero defending. Okay, so we are back to Thraken. Now would be a great time for like a heroic brew or a potion of strength or something. He doesn't have anything like that. So he is going to swing his broadsword at the Chaos Warrior, hitting it with a 1. It defends the attack. That makes sense. Okay, tell you what, Moonstone's shapeshift really only benefits her if she's close range, so let's actually move him back so that she can get in there. Justin says, well, it's just for treasure. Oh, yeah. True. That puts us over to Grimina. I'll be honest, I think the two heroes down here should be able to take care of that Chaos Warrior. Let's go ahead and let Grimina leave, I think. I mean, they would theoretically have an effect on it, but it would take them a long time to get down there. So let's also think about this. If we were to send Grimina and Treyas down there to help, they would have a long walk ahead of them. So they would need to come down out of here and then all the way around the corner of the board and down over here, up the double wide, and then through all of these rooms to get up there. They're going to have that Chaos Warrior dead before we roll them all the way over there, I think. Let's go ahead and let both of them leave, I think. So Grimina, 1, 2, out she goes. Treyas close on her heels, hopefully. Yeah, she does. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 means Treyas is out as well. So now let's just take care of this guy and that chest. Okay, Moonstone, 1, 2. Let's see if I can get back a little bit closer, because I think we had it a little closer than that. There we go. Okay, shapeshifted Moonstone means she gets an extra attack dice. She swings her claws at the Chaos Warrior, hitting it with a 1. It defends the attack. It's not taking any of this. Guess we get a little bit of a climactic battle for the end. Back to the monster's turn, the Chaos Warrior swings its axe at Moonstone, hitting her with a 2. She also gets an extra defense while she's shapeshifted. And she blocks it. Wow. Awesome. This really is, we need some epic theme battle music and some graphic animations here. Thraken puts an arrow in his short bow and fires at the Chaos Warrior, but misses. He's clearly not very good with that bow, and he is not in a position to do any searching, so we are back to Moonstone. Moonstone swings her claws at the Chaos Warrior, hitting it with a 2. That's a little better. The Dread Warrior blocks 1, but takes the other. Just chip damage at this point. Is there anything else she can do? She has her Swift Wind spell, which is not going to do much. Ooh, she could drink that potion of defense. She's not low enough on health to worry about the potion of healing. I I don't know, she did pretty good. Let's go ahead and drink the Potion of Defense. She is fighting a strong monster that's swinging 5 at her, and she's only got 2 defense. So she is going to get 2 extra defense dice just for this next turn. So let's hope that was not a wasted potion drink. It is the Chaos Warrior's turn. It swings its axe at Moonstone. Oh, hitting her with a 1. Darn it. I mean, good, she's probably not going to take damage, but the Potion of Defense is probably wasted. Oh, she still didn't block it. She didn't block it. Now that Grumina's left the quest, Moonstone has decided to take up her place as getting all the dumb dice rolls. That also means that the shapeshift is gone, so she's back down to her normal self there, and we might as well get her out of there after this turn. Zargon puts another arrow to his bow and fires, hitting the Chaos Warrior with a 1. The Chaos Warrior blocks the attack. Oh, guys, now's not the time to choke. Nothing else he can do. Moonstone is going to swing her wooden staff, hitting the Chaos Warrior with a 1. It blocks the attack. Oh, man. This is wild. I think with her other action, we're going to go ahead and move her back out of the way. And for the monster's turn, this will actually allow the Chaos Warrior to step forward. The Chaos Warrior swings its axe at Zargon. Ouch, hitting him with a 4. Now, thanks to Boren's armor, Zargon does actually have a chance to defend all of this if he rolls all white shields. He only rolls 1. He takes 3 points of damage. Ooh, Zargon is lower than I thought he was. He's down to 2. I did not think he was down that far. Might have thought twice about moving her out of the way. Okay, let's hope they can finish this guy on this turn, because Zargon may need to get out of there. I guess he is adjacent to Moonstone. But if she passes that potion of healing, he still won't be able to drink it until the next turn. Okay, Zargon swings his broadsword. Come on, guys, get a good critical hit or something. Hitting the Chaos Warrior with 2, that's better. And the Chaos Warrior doesn't defend it. That does take it out, because it was damaged a little bit already. Okay. That battle was kind of intense. That was a lot. Okay, Zargon's other action. Not very much. 1, is he going to search for traps in that room? Oh, well, he doesn't have the action to do it, but is he going to stop? Yes, he is. Okay, good. Moonstone. 1, 2, 3. What is she going to do? Is she going to do traps, secret doors, or treasure? She's going to do traps. And she will discover that that treasure chest is trapped. Now, that's kind of a problem, because the 2 heroes who could disarm traps left. So I guess they're just going to have to let themselves get hit with it. Okay, Zargon is not in any shape, body point-wise, to do that, so I think we might as well start rolling him towards the exit. 1, 2, 3. Moonstone is going to spend 1 action searching this room for secret doors. There are none. Being that she cannot disarm traps, she's just going to have to let it trigger whatever it happens to be. Her second action is searching for treasure. This chest is trapped with poisonous gas. If a hero searches for treasure before the trap is disarmed, they will lose 3 body points. Man, that was a bad trap, too. Good thing she had the health with all the healing spells she cast on herself. That does drop her down to 5. What she gets in the chest, though, is a brand new artifact called the Elixir of Life. It's brand new to them. It's definitely not brand new to the game. This is the only way that a hero can bring a different dead hero back to life. So definitely a handy thing to have, and definitely fits Moonstone's healer vibe that she's got. So we're going to go ahead and mark down Elixir of Life on her card, her character sheet rather. And again, that's it. There's nothing left for this quest, so we are done. Awesome. Okay, let's not forget the gold this time. First off, for today's quest, as always, Mentor awards each surviving hero with 50 coins. Mordecai does not count towards that. He's not technically a hero yet, but he will be for the next. So 200 coins they get. That's going to put us up to 750. Now let's go ahead and review what they should have gotten last night. I'm pretty confident that that is 600 coins, but let's check our Fire Mage paper here. So of course they would have again gotten the 200 coins for completing the quest, the 4 heroes, nobody died. And also because the Emperor was essentially the one who put out a contract for Balur, he also promised each hero 400 gold coins. So yes, that makes a total of 600 coins that the heroes should have gotten that I didn't, which is going to put us up to 1,350 coins. So we are definitely going to be good and loaded up for next quest, which is good because there's a pretty good chance that Mordecai will be picked to go on the quest Monday night, and he's a completely new hero with nothing, so that will help us get him started outfitted. Okay, now that that's taken care of, let's go ahead and clean up all of this stuff. So we can clean up unused skills and spells. Oh right, I forgot about this potion of warmth too. There's no reason to keep that. We're definitely going to sell that. The elixir of life and that potion will go over here. Let me check, but I'm pretty sure the potion of warmth is 150 coins, which means we should get 75 for it. Yes, 75 coins for a potion of warmth. We'll go ahead and add that to their total as well. So let's see, it's going to put a 5 right there. And that will put us up to 1,425. And we'll just go ahead and discard that potion of warmth. Until we get to the Frozen Horror book, which is book 8, I think. 8 out of 14. Those will basically just be like you found 75 coins. Oh, nice. So as I mentioned, Savannah has been painting during this quest too. So let's take a look at this. She actually painted Hogard the Dwarf. Oh, I've done the wrong one. Here we go. Gotta put the hand behind him so that the camera will focus. Nice. I like the purple on his clothes, the gold highlights. Got some red fur on the back. Whoa! Oh yeah. So that card is showing us the base set dwarf, and this is the first light dwarf, but still. Yeah, nice. I like the little red highlight on the shield there too, or the fire. What is that emblem?
A dragon.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, I see it now. Nice. That's some good potions for stronger weapons or shield, maybe. Merlin says, I haven't seen him before. He's cool looking. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That one with...
Yeah. So you guys probably, if any of you have watched the painting streams, then you will have seen this already, but she also painted Paya the monk on the last stream. So excited to get both of them in a quest.
Oh, here's his card back. I don't need it.
Yeah.
I will need whatever the little warlock. I'll need her card.
Okay. All right. Let's get skill sets done and talk about kind of what happened in the quest, how the heroes did, and all that good stuff. What did you guys like? What happened? Oh, Merlin says, wow, yeah. You haven't played as the monk yet either. Any highlights anybody can think of? Anybody that did particularly good? I mean, we all know that Gramina crushed it, as always, right? I gotta go with Gohan now and start treating her like the Chuck Norris of the game rather than treating her like she's useless. Yes. So I'm looking at Thraken's paper here, and again, I think he was the most powerful hero from a technical standpoint that went into the quest. He didn't have higher attack than anybody else, but he definitely had the highest defense. And he did, it seemed like he was doing pretty well with kind of being forward at the group. You know what I mean? Now, he did use his bow a few times, but he was also doing pretty good at blocking doorways and just being the powerful hitter. So yeah, definitely good performance there. Let's see. Wow, now this is wild too. He has actually taken level 1 in all 6 categories by some crazy random chance. So let's see what he's getting tonight. His first skill set point is going to be machinery level 2. Now I know that's nothing, but level 3 will be toolkit disarm. So he won't need a toolkit to be able to disarm traps like that. And his second point is going to be Constitution level 2, which gains him an extra body point. So he goes up to a max of 11. Setting him up pretty good for whatever quest he goes on next. Gramina. Now she doesn't have anything in her list of accomplishments here. She was the one who discovered Morkai and genuinely, not even to make a joke, you know, kind of courageously charged in there as soon as she saw a hero in danger. No searching for traps. She just saw a bunch of monsters and an injured hero, and she was not having that. So that's definitely a pretty neat storyline that our randomization cards have set out for us there. She did a lot of her normal, you know, missing attacks and missing defenses, and if not for Treus's healing spell, she probably would have died this quest, but she didn't. So we definitely did a good job there. Let's see what she's getting. Her first point is going to be machinery level 4. That makes sense. Being a dwarf, she's interested in that sort of thing. Let's see if that is something for her. It is not, but a level 5 is going to actually give her a special second try at disarming a trap, which is a new thing I'm trying out in play. So the machinery skill used to give the heroes the ability to set traps that only monsters could set, but nobody ever used that. I've never used it when I was playing with Savannah and my younger brother. None of them ever, and my younger brother's wife, she wasn't his wife at the time, they never used it. When Merlin and I were playing together, he never used it. So I just eliminated that and said I'm trying some other stuff with that. So again,
not it wasn't cool, it's just not something you think about.
You don't think about it. Yeah. And his second skill set point is going to go towards combat level 1, which is increasing. Oh, I said her. Increasing her base defense by 1, which is good. Base attack does not really do much other than if you don't have a weapon, but defense is built on top of your base defense. So this does actually push her defense dice up to 4. As I'm sure nobody will be surprised, dwarves are kind of the defense class, so they're going to end up with higher defense than anybody else. All right, Treus also did pretty good this quest. Barely got hit. He only got hit twice in the whole quest. Cast most of his spells, so he definitely did a pretty good job there. Let's see, his first skill set point is going to be combat level 1, which is interesting. That's surely nothing for a wizard. Nope, he doesn't get anything there until level 5. And his second point is going to be Constitution level 3. That's also nothing, but level 4 is another body point. So he's kind of building his way up to stuff. And finally, we have Moonstone the Druid, who did a whole lot this quest. It's a shame she didn't hold on to her shapeshift a little better. That's just kind of how the cards drew her. I imagine that a real player would probably play her a little bit more carefully than that. But it does mean that she was jumping right into the middle of the fray in her bear form, which makes the most sense. That's what it should be used for. So yeah, let's see what she's got. She is going to take a point in magic skill level 3. See if that's anything for her. No, but she gets something at level 4. Her second point is going to be magic memorization level 3, which for a druid, I've lost her. Where is she? Where am I missing her? There she is. Okay, nothing, but level 4 is going to be pick one spell. Awesome. Okay, I think that is going to do it for us tonight. We're still basically at 3 a.m., but we didn't go any past, so that's nice. All the normal stuff we've got to do here, of course. Thank you guys for hanging out with me, as always. I know I said it last time. I'm going to say it every time because it's not just part of a script. I mean it. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Justin, as always, Gohan, Bohemius, Merlin, thank you guys for hanging out. I appreciate legitimately every single second of time that you guys spend hanging out in here. I hope you enjoy watching the quests. I hope you enjoy the music that you hear. I really enjoy hanging out with you guys while I play. So I'm hoping to see you guys on Monday night. Remember, tomorrow night will be a painting stream where Savannah is going to be starting on the Warlock, right? So Tiaga the Warlock is going to be her focus for tomorrow night's stream, and that should be definitely interesting. So jump back in here and hang out with her, contribute to some stuff with that, because I don't think I'm gonna have the Warlock be a green-skinned character, which is what her character card shows. So some input on that would always be appreciated if you guys want to come hang out with her tomorrow. It will be right here on Twitch at midnight, as always. Thank you guys one more time, and have a great night. We'll see you, or at least I'll see you guys again on Monday night.